The December 12, 2023 regular meeting of the Hawthorne City Council is called to order at 6:11 p.m. John O'Neill will do the invocation tonight. Can you please come up? John O'Neill. Okay. We'll defer to the closest pastor, Pastor Jefferson. Yeah, well, you're the closest to the thing.
To the mic.
We could do a coin toss between everyone.
Let us pray. Gracious and wise, almighty God, our Father, our sustainer, our hope, our joy in the midst of sorrow times. We come before your presence with thanksgiving in our heart, prepared to hear and to deliberate and to communicate with one another about the events that are taking place in this city. We ask you, O Heavenly Father, to keep us, to watch over us, to guide us in this time in which we shall hear and understand, gain insight and hope as we address the needs of our community. We ask your blessings upon the council, the police department, fire department, all the city officials, all of those persons oftentimes go unnoticed. We invite you to meet us in this place as we lift up our voices of praise and concern. We ask these blessings in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Officer Santos, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, sir?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Awesome. We ask our veterans and recent military personnel to please stand so you could be recognized.
Yay.
There we go. Thank you so much for your service. The roll call.
Councilmember Manning. Here. Councilmember Montero.
Present.
Councilmember Patterson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Reyes English.
Here.
Mayor Vargas.
Here.
All present.
We have a presentation, pastor's recognition by Councilwoman Manning, please.
The old one.
Can you hear me? All right. So we are ending this year, and I wanted to take the time to show our appreciation from the city of Hawthorne. Every city council meeting, we are always prayed over by the folks that care about us, that love us, and appreciate what we're doing. And tonight I wanted to show our appreciation for the work that you've done, for the many years that you've been here and what you contribute. So I'm not going to read because a lot of what it says, it's long. So I'm going to call the person up, say a few words, give them their proclamation, and also issuing them a $540 check for our appreciation. Bear with me. And then we'll take a picture with each person. So Pastor Jefferson, if you could please come up. Pastor Jefferson came to our city in 2000. And he was the intern pastor of Del Air Baptist Church. After serving 6 months, he became the full lead pastor of Del Air Church. When you have time, Pastor, you can read all of your accomplishments. But we want to say thank you as a city, and we appreciate your services. We are always familiar with all of the contributions that you make to the city, to the homeless population, to the veterans population, to everybody that needs help. And we thank you so much. And just know you'll receive your check for $540. It is coming from my stipend. So we want to give recognition. If everybody could just please give a warm welcome for Pastor Jefferson Del Air Church. Can we get a picture with him?
And do them individually?
Get all of them?
Well, one at a time, so they can have their own photo.
Do you want to go maybe through all of them, and then we'll just line
okay.
them up, and we'll
Okay.
kind of sequence
Yeah,
it?
we'll do it one at a time.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's better than
Pastor John Richardson, if you could please come to the podium, please. Bishop, I apologize. I am so sorry. Bishop, I know you earned that title, and you worked very hard for that. I apologize. Bishop came to the church, city of Hawthorne, pastoring Bethel Church of God in Christ. He was led to plant a new church in the city of Hawthorne, naming it New Journey Church of Christ in God. He has operated this church for over 20 years. Again, Pastor Bishop has contributed an enormous amount of resources to the city. I believe you offered housing to the city, and he continues to pour into our city. And I just want him to know that we appreciate you and all of the work that you've done and will continue to do in our city. We love you. Thank you so much for pouring into our city, and we thank you. And everybody, if you could give a warm welcome for the bishop.
The name is New Journey Church of God in Christ.
Oh,
And
New Journey. Sorry.
this year marks my 30th year.
Woo!
Came here in, I think it was May of 1993
Get three.
is when I first came to this city.
Okay.
Praise God.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pastor Greg, if you could come to the podium, please. I want to also thank you, Pastor Greg, for the work that you've done for the city. We see you quite often here at the city council meetings, and you are always willing to pray over us. Again, you give so much to our community, to our city, and we thank you for being here, for blessing us, for praying over us. It's so important that we have people like our pastors and our bishop to pray over us, especially in a time of need, and the things that we have to go through as city council people. And to have someone like you all could take the time to pray for us, to love on us, and be there and support us, we truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. We love you. Can everybody give him a warm welcome? Appreciation. Pastor, did you have a few words?
Well, just one thing. We pray for the city. All of our churches pray for you guys every week. And it's because the scripture tells us that it's an important desire of God that we hold you up, because you have a very difficult job. It's hard to see sometimes when you just come to a meeting, but there are decisions that have to be made. There's pressures on you that no one really sees except your family. There are issues that come into your life, and those are all things that God wants us to look at and hold you up for. So we are very proud of you guys, and we're happy to do this. We're blessed to be in a city that's quiet. We have a great police chief. We have a great city manager, a great city attorney, and we're just really happy that this city is the way it is, and it's a great honor for us to take the place of praying that God would hold you up and draw you close to him and bring you to his heart. So it's a wonderful privilege that all of us pastors have, and we're glad to do it.
Thank you. And you too will receive your $540.
Thank you.
We were going to say something, don't say something? Okay.
I have one more. He was unable to make it tonight, but I did want to acknowledge him during our council meeting. So Pastor Larry D. Weaver, he's a senior pastor at Atherton Baptist Church, and he has too been here since 1982. Pastor Weaver, for many years, have allowed Holly Park Homeowners Association to have their monthly meetings there. He do food drives. He does so much like the other pastors in the community, and I just also wanted to recognize him. Even though he couldn't be here tonight, we all, if we could just give him a round of applause for his contributions to our city, making our city a better place. At this time, we'll have one pastor come up and we'll take a picture.
At a time?
We'll do one picture at a time with the entire council.
Oops.
Okay.
To the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to acknowledge our pastors and all of those before them and that are going to come after them, and just, the opportunities that they've given us to attend church with them and, partner in partnerships and community endeavors. And so I just want to thank all of you that are here this evening and those that couldn't make it, but just thank you for your giving. Thank you for your prayers. And more importantly, thank you for being a beacon of hope in times of desperation and need here in our community. But thank you so much for lifting us up in prayer every day. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Sir.
Yeah, I just it's great to see you guys. I don't get a chance to see you as often as I would like. Have a lot of great memories and stories for all of you guys. Thanks for coming out. Glad we had the opportunity to recognize you guys. I've had so many great experiences with the pastors in the city of Hawthorne, but welcomed by all the pastors in the city of Hawthorne. As I kind of began my career of public service, I was able to, through our pastors, meet a lot of people in the community and really get to know our neighbors and our residents. And always impressed by all the great programs, all the great initiatives, all the great just participation that you guys have in our city. So it's awesome to have you guys here. I wish you guys a Merry Christmas and continued success.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Again, I don't want to repeat what my colleague said, but Pastor Jefferson, thank you for your service. We've been on this journey for 25 years together. So thank you very much for everything you do for our city, because, you're a beacon of hope for many people, especially for those foster youth kids, right? Mm-hmm. Especially for those, the Hawthorne School District. When I was on the board, we worked together to bring the DCFS into campus to work on those foster care and those unfortunate children. So thank you for all those things you have done, and especially for the single fathers programs, and then you continue to diversify your service. So thank you very much for that. Bishop, thank you for your outstanding service. For you been here for 30 years, so you are also a beacon of this community. So thank you very much. I appreciate all that you've done. Pastor Greg, thank you again for your leadership in the community. You've been part of the Kiwanis Club. You've been president of the Hawthorne Lawndale Ministerial Association, and I want to say thank you for that lunch on Thanksgiving, the 16th of November, that you guys put together for every year. So it was like hundreds of seniors and the community come together to eat those Thanksgiving meals. So thank you for all the work that you guys been doing in the community. So again, my hat goes to you, because like I said, this is a partnership and we do care about this community, and you guys always step up in doing the best work, and you do in the name of God, and you don't accept nothing, just gratitude. So thank you very much.
Okay. I want to echo everything that my council member colleague said. Yes, you guys are an essential part of our community, and I think we need more God in our city and in our community, in the world, as you guys can tell, right? We need a lot of it in certain parts right now, right? So you'll continue to receive our support in all the generous charity work that you do. And we trust that if you need any help, you'll let us know so that we can assist in whatever ways. Your three churches and all the other churches that exist in the city of Hawthorne, and religious groups, okay? So thank you so much, and congratulations for what you do.
Happy holiday.
Merry Christmas. Office Untitled will be giving a second presentation, and as you all know, we announced the new City Hall and Civic Park that's going to be established right over this fence right here in the Bank of America area. We purchased that land, and we have great plans, and you guys are going to get to see it right now here in the audience and on your screens at home. So we haven't seen it either, just like you haven't. So this is going to be our first time seeing it, right? So please proceed. The members of office and title, are you guys here? All right. We usually stick to 10 minutes, but so, you know, whatever you, well,
good
whatever
evening.
you need, but, you know, just keep that in mind also. Okay, thank you, sir.
We were just saying that that's a very tough act to follow. I'm Ben Anderson, a co-founder and principal of Office Entitled, the lead architect on this project, and I'm joined tonight by Tina Chi of Tina Chi Landscape Studio, Kurt Fisher of Kurt Fisher Structural Engineering, the lead structural engineer on the project, and a director from our studio at Office Untitled, Scott Walter. Maybe it's better if you guys sit down and just swap. Yeah. We're very excited to present an update and introduce you to this project. We've been working very closely with city staff, and tonight, the way we wanted to structure the presentation, let me just get the key, here we go. Kind of in three parts. I'm gonna just talk high level about kind of some of the existing conditions and larger drivers and to how the project was formed. Then we'll have Tina Chi come up and talk about some of the landscape and placemaking. Thank you. Perfect. Talk about some of the landscaping and park programming opportunities. And Scott Walter will come up and talk a little bit more about the proposed architecture. So before you today is a satellite image. We're obviously here in City Hall, and the majority of the proposed project is on this site and replaces the existing parking lot, which has 194 parking stalls. It also envisions an adaptive reuse of the existing Bank of America building, and proposes a new parking structure where currently an existing parking structure stands. This diagram shows kind of high level programmatically where these would go. We are proposing to build a new 106 stall below ground parking structure, and what that does is it frees up the entirety of the current surface parking structure for public activation, much needed green space, community programming, and further activation and re-energization of Hawthorne Boulevard. Additionally, we're proposing a new 3-story, 32,000 square foot City Hall expansion, a separate footprint, a new building, but we will be bridging between the new building and the existing City Hall to allow staff to move back and forth without having to exit the building. The existing B of A building, as I said, is planned for an adaptive reuse, and we are working towards a 100 stall structured parking that would be above grade here. Along the frontage at Hawthorne Boulevard, you can see in front of the police department, there's the new angled parking. As this section of the street is upgraded, it too will have the angled parking for a total of 9 stalls. And along 126th Street, which will be converted into a one-way street, it will have 35 spaces of diagonal parking as well. At this point, I'll have Tina Chi come up and speak about the park.
Thank you. So thinking about programming at this park, this is obviously a very important space in the city of Hawthorne. We want to create a space that's appropriate for City Hall. Obviously, the users, the staff working at City Hall, the surrounding businesses, but we also want to make it a place for the residents of Hawthorne, to make it a park for them as well. So weekdays and weekend uses. So, you know, we're thinking about a multifunctional park, plaza, creating a place for everybody, so it's very inclusive, activities. And part of thinking about the programming is where we need to think about the edges, the relationship to the context, the residents, and so forth. So thinking about Hawthorne Boulevard, that's definitely the front face of the new park complex. So we would like to, we're thinking about a marquee, some kind of marquee, of a sign, a monument sign that addresses Hawthorne Boulevard and the kind of monumental nature of a civic space, of a city hall. And then from there, we're thinking about a promenade where it's very open to Hawthorne Boulevard. People feel welcomed and invited to promenade through the space, the site where, you know, you would have the anchor tenant, perhaps at the corner, a cafe, for example, and then tables spilling out to really activate this promenade on one side, and then the other side, perhaps a great lawn where it could be a recreational, passive recreational space. People can picnic, or you could have movie night, for instance, or maybe even an art fair, for example. And then as you continue on the promenade, you arrive at where the existing city hall and the new building meet together in an event plaza to celebrate together that new space, that new civic space. It could be a very multifunctional plaza. You can have a farmer's market on the weekend. You can have a lecture. You can have an event during the weekday. So you can see there's multi-uses in all of these spaces. And then this promenade extends to connect into the neighborhood, so it feels porous and welcoming to the residents beyond. And then thinking about what kind of program could happen on the north edge. We want to be mindful of the residents that are nearby. We want to create a very healthy planting buffer so that they have some privacy to their own space. And then, of course, the railway. We want to screen that. So perhaps in providing this planting buffer, we could celebrate California, the diversity of the flora, creating an oak forest, for example, a botanical garden of some sorts. And then nestled within that, we could provide a playground, you know, a nature play, to allow kids to connect to nature. And then, you know, there would be paths and so forth, so we could emphasize fitness, you know, walking paths through this botanical garden and so forth. So that's our first approach on the programming. And then in thinking about the size of these kind of multifunctional spaces, the event plaza, so, you know, this is our first pass. We're thinking about a space of about 10,000 square feet, and that could roughly hold about 700 people. So you could have a range of spaces, events. And then the Great Lawn, this diagram is showing it at 19,000 square feet. That's going to hold perhaps about 1,300 people. That's very similar. We did a comparison of the Memorial Park here in Hawthorne. Memorial Park, that size is about 23,000 actually. So this one is a little bit smaller. Tongva Park and Concert Park at Playa Vista. So these are very comparable to those areas. And then thinking of, you know, just to give you a sense of what it could be like, this is Culver Steps in Culver City, where you see this plaza. It's a very multifunctional space. It's got a lot of texture, plenty of different types of seating for everybody. It's very activated by the step seating. And then something we're working on at Gilbert Lindsay Plaza. It's currently a parking lot, and we're transforming it into an extension for the convention center, as well as an everyday park with a cafe anchoring it at one end, an amphitheater at another end, and then a very small lawn that's flexible with a splash pad and plenty of trees and shaded seating. And then a park in Jordan Downs where we're going to be emphasizing nature play, getting back to the essence, and planting over 70 trees there to really bring back the urban forest. And this, so all in all, this is the what we went through, the program. You can see its relationship to the site, and Scott will come up and talk more about the architectural elements.
Hi, good evening. Yes, so as Ben and Tina previewed, the new city hall will be located adjacent to the existing city hall, connected by an open-air kind of breezeway bridge. That allows us, by separating the new city hall from the existing, it allows the current seismic design to proceed, and is a very cost-effective approach to an addition, and has its own benefits as well. The new city hall, as I mentioned, kind of open corridors, breezeways for exterior circulation, which can help save on electrical and mechanical and ventilation costs, but also creates a sense of connection between the people in the building and the people in the park. It activates the exterior of the building, making it appear as a welcoming city hall. On the roof of the city hall, a proposed cinema or outdoor gathering space that the city could use for events. We're currently showing it with a movie theater, but there's any range of events could be held up there. And then the existing Bank of America building would be repurposed, as mentioned, as a retail and restaurant space, cafes. You can imagine people sitting and the activities spilling out into the park. We would propose a canopy, a shade structure outside of the Bank of America structure to just help to create that engaging and relaxing environment. And then as well, as we mentioned, the parking would be pushed below the park. So we'd have a point of entry off of Hawthorne at the corner of the property, and then there'd be another entrance at the western side of the property, kind of tucked away along the side of the city hall. And then as well, you can see with this blue lettering here would be the monument sign that says Hawthorne that was indicated earlier by Tina. And we have some additional views. So there's a view looking towards the new City Hall structure with the central plaza activated by a farmer's market and people hanging out on the Great Lawn. You can see a sort of grand staircase coming up from the central plaza up to the levels of City Hall. And as well, we've located the council chambers on the third floor with glazing so that they're able to look out onto the park. And you can see we've indicated potentially there could be a movie screen on the side of the building for viewing from the plaza if that wasn't going to be taking place on the roof. And this is the view looking from the proposed council chambers out into the new plaza space. So that concludes our presentation. If anyone has any questions?
Any questions from council? Go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. There's a lot here, literally. Thank you for your time and your expertise. Just some observations that I made. I've lived in the city of Hawthorne over 40 years. I've raised my children here. I'm going to be a grandmother of 8 soon. And I work for the city of Los Angeles, Council District 9. I'm familiar with Los Angeles. I'm familiar with the LA Convention Center. I'm familiar with a lot of the districts in the 15 council offices. So I made some observations with regards to how we're different from the communities of Los Angeles. Having said that, I like the concept of the greenery, the space, trees and things like this. I just hope it's not trees that produce sap and things like that are going to ruin our nice landscaping, more importantly, our sidewalks. And hopefully with that, we have large enough sidewalks where everyone could fit freely coming and going as everybody passes by. That's one observation. I also live next to the railroad. Literally, I could touch the train as it goes by. Literally. I've had issues that I've addressed the railroad on, and I've had them here in council to address those. So having said that, I don't suggest a play yard adjacent to the railroad. for those reasons, and more importantly, you don't want to scare our kids when they're playing on a playground and you have a speeding train going by. I'd rather see a buffer wall and maybe some murals with local artists providing a mural space along that wall, and truly be just aware of how that train runs, when it runs, how often it runs, and the speed in which it's running. Again, just from experiences, but the concept of the landscape also with regards to examples of LA Convention Center. I just went to go see Frida and Diego last Saturday, and I was at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, and that's more of the concept that I could see in this development, more than the convention center. The convention center is so old, and I know they're looking at redeveloping that. But having said that, just to be able to have in that square, if you will, a community space, to be able to have our city council space and just other uses, and then to be able to eat and have, say, for instance, the cafes in that medium, in that section. Oftentimes, council goes before closed session, and we don't know when we're going to come out. And some council members still, or constituents still want to be a part of our council meeting. So that would give them a reason to hang out in a cafe, sitting outside, lounging while they wait for us to come back for council. So just the observations such as that is very important. And I thank you in advance. I know it's just developing. I know there's a lot of work, and you're going to have 5 minds with 5 different thoughts. And at the end of the day, this is going to be a great endeavor for the residents of Hawthorne, for its future, more importantly, the job creations that it's going to have and the impacts it'll make in hopefully capturing more businesses to come to Hawthorne. I look forward to ultimately having that mall across the street knocked down, literally taken out somehow. I hope that those that purchase that will work truly with the city of Hawthorne to develop a not just a destination city, but something that the community has been desperately looking for. So with that, again, thank you for your time. Thank you for everyone's expertise. And I truly appreciate the efforts that our city manager has made in these endeavors. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Through the chair, just a couple quick questions. And I think the city manager can answer this question. Is it assumed that the Bank of America wouldn't be a tenant anymore once we do this development?
No, I wouldn't assume that. Once we get approval to move forward, once we get community engagement, I will have a private conversation with the B of A with different options available.
Okay. And then if I understood correctly, the proposal is to keep this existing city hall as is and then build a new city hall extension.
Absolutely. Renovations inside the city hall. So the idea, getting advisement and direction from council, this room for instance, would be a community room instead of a council chamber. But we would do slight modifications inside, but the exterior of the building would stay the same.
Great. Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else?
Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me. Council, can we change the slide to maybe the final
Absolutely.
revision for the community can see it as we discuss this project?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that good?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the presentation. This is long time coming because we always wanted a civic center, and we have to start to show that this council is aggressive to create destination place in our city, and I think this is a great idea about creating this space, especially with all the greens, you know, the trees and the lawns and the park is a beautiful thing. Can you go back to that slide that said the landscaping area view, that concept plan study that have the, right there. So when I look over here at the playground and the California garden, so you guys intend to put a lot of trees along the railroad track, right? That's correct. That's correct,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then the all those areas will be inside of the park itself.
Yeah, and I think there as well is consideration to create a berm that would also help to mask some of the sound. But it sounds like, you know, we can look at if maybe a wall is more appropriate. But yeah, landscape features, both earth and planted material to help create a soft, you know, friendly edge to the park.
Yeah, because when we're thinking about the railroad, then we have those houses, and then it's just a little piece of the parking lot that currently holds Bank of America that goes right, because we don't own those houses, so that's what I can see. That is just like one little section of the railroad that's going to impact basically our parking our space.
I'm not totally clear on how you mean would impact. Do you mean at the zone here to the northwest corner?
Yeah, because when I look at the railroad track, right? Because the railroad track goes between almost some houses and the police department,
Yes.
and almost shows up right here.
Yeah.
So that's when I was thinking about that, how we would blend the community, those houses, with the new proposed, civic center plus the railroad track.
Yeah, I think the idea is again to use the landscape to create this sort of buffer from both the railroad and a berm and trees for the railroad, but then as well the trees for the neighbors in the neighboring homes, so that they can have a little bit of privacy from all the public activity. It would give them a little bit more screening.
Yeah, in a sense, it is a beautiful design, and I'm all for it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking at the picture and I'm kind of concerned. I just like for you guys to take a look at the scaling, because I think the scaling might be not as, reflective of how much space we have available out there. Considering that we have that building for the Bank of America kept where it is, and just imagining the distance between the Bank of America building to the fence right next to the railroad, it just seems like the size of those people and the amount of people right there just seems like there's just not enough room to do what you guys want to do. Did you guys scale this correctly, or is it just conceptual?
I mean, it remains at a conceptual level, but it is scaled off of drawings that we received from the city. We haven't worked with an actual survey yet, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying that there's a lot of things
a
lot of things we like to do here, and that middle building between City Hall and the old Bank of America building seems nice. The playground I just don't see it. Just think of the parking lot that we have here. You're trying to squeeze a building, then an open space, and then on top of that, you have the playground right next to the fence. I think it's maybe time to start looking at some surveying as to how much space you actually do have available, in order to kind of come up with some more realistic, because there might be too much that you might want to do here.
Sure,
And-
we can take a look and confirm. Yeah.
And I like for you guys to continue with the initial conceptual, and if there's other versions of this based on what my council colleagues say, please go ahead. I just like to explore what you guys, what your original thought is on the whole project. Okay.
Sure, great, thank you. Yeah, and the more input we get, the better the projects get. So
Yeah. So
I mean,
version A, version this, version.
yeah, absolutely.
Mayor, thank you. One last thing. We just implemented a dog park over at the Memorial Center. It's not too large, but it's enough. We do have paid constituents, and then on top of that, our front City Hall yard is a pet yard. Pets. The neighbors come, they bring their pets, they roam here, and some pick up, some don't, right? My thoughts were, after I looked at the big grassy area, that whole area, and you're able to lounge and sit on the grass and have a picnic if you'd like. There's a little concern there. Just it's not going to be. It's going to be one of those where we're going to have the same concept where neighbors are bringing their dogs and they're on the grass, and we can't control people, right?
Sure.
But maybe look at a space or an area where pets can go versus that big old grass that we're
Yeah,
going to have that we want to
absolutely.
use
Yeah.
for the community's use instead, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the kids' play area can be the dog park. I don't know, something, I mean,
Yeah, well, it's something
Again.
that brings people to parks, is their
Yeah.
dog, if they have a dog park. And so it's another good thing to add to the
Yeah.
mix that activates the space and makes it part of the community.
but look at that big old yard. I mean, I could just see pets going crazy. But, yeah, just a thought.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
To the chair. I just wanted to double check, and maybe you have this in here, but accessibility for disabled.
Yeah, so we would absolutely be providing and making the entire site accessible to meet all the requirements from a code perspective, but hopefully much more than that, and making it a pleasant and accessible place for everyone beyond just the bare minimum. So the park, all aspects of the park would be accessible. The buildings, of course, would have elevators to get to the upper levels, but certainly, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Continue moving forward with your work. Now we're going to talk about our new senior center. And this is money that was provided from the state of California, through our wonderful Assembly member, Tina McKinner, who was able to allow some money to be brought here to the city of Hawthorne. So we thank her once again. So we have plans for the senior center, right, Mr. City Manager? And
Yes.
then a little bit of refurbishment on the main Memorial Center as well, too, possibly, right?
Yes, you're correct. The presentation has great detail, and I'd like to welcome our architects that we vetted through RFP process. We had a panel review all the RFPs, and we selected to move forward with this firm here. And at this time, please proceed with your presentation.
RADA.
Yes. Hi, I'm Rania Alomar with RADA Architects. With me is Jacob Rodriguez, our structural engineer with Lebib Funk Structural Engineers. They're actually already doing the seismic retrofit on this building, right? Isn't that right? So thank you for having us. We're happy to be here, and we're excited about this project. This is a very high-level overview of how we're starting to think about this project. A little bit about my firm's background. We have done a lot of public work and private work. We've recently completed a community center for the city of Long Beach and have done a bunch of parks and activated the whole beachfront along Long Beach. We are the on-call architect for the city of Long Beach. We've also done, like the image on the top left is the library for Redondo Beach. And top middle is animal shelter for the city of LA. So a lot of public buildings, very much about kind of community type spaces. A little overview of our site. You've got the Memorial Park right there and the Hawthorne Memorial Center. And the senior center is that, as you all know, that small single-story building just north of the Memorial Center. The main road on this site is West El Segundo Boulevard, and that is really kind of a big, strong thoroughfare that takes you to this area and to that park. The existing conditions of the building, currently there's very little daylighting. All of the systems are antiquated, the lights are antiquated, the mechanical systems are old. Those are all inefficient systems. It's not super accessible or universally accessible. There's limited lease space. It's, just a few rooms essentially. And it's not readily visible to the public. The access is convoluted. So there's some issues already going on with the existing building. So there are, however, a lot of really great opportunities on this site. It is a great site. It's overlooking that great park. And we imagine that if we were to extend this building and add a second story to the building and also renovate the existing building, we could get some really great park views to the south and use that orientation and that building up of the building to get daylight into the building and also get daylight down into the existing building. We could have a much stronger presence from El Segundo Boulevard so that people as you can park potentially along the south edge of the site and see the building and create a new path to that building through the park. There's also potential for some covered outdoor spaces, and certainly addressing that sort of top right corner of the park that is, could use some sort of upgrading. So just thinking about the senior center itself, some of the key elements that we would like to pull into this building as we start to think about the design of it. We need to bring daylighting in. We need to integrate green space. We need to make it fully accessible, elevators, ADA bathrooms, accessible pathways to all of the spaces. We need to implement comfort in an active way. So avoid, it's a senior center, so avoiding long walkways, providing places to sit, places to rest, and also flexibility, creating spaces that aren't just sole use spaces, so that you could potentially, it can be kind of an asset to your group of buildings. It can be used for multiple different things in addition to what we have already. So, we've got images of like usable courtyards, an idea of how the building can be visible from El Segundo Boulevard, and views over outdoor spaces. Again, engaging out, just kind of some images to sort of start to spark ideas of how we can create engaging outdoor space, comfortable interior space, spaces that connect visually and physically to the exterior. Right now, there's no connection to the exterior. It's just a completely enclosed building. Some of the program we'd like to look at pulling in. There is currently a kitchen, so there's potential for upgrading the kitchen, having fully usable conference spaces, adding things like activities rooms, sewing space, dance studio, cafeteria potentially, even looking at adding some of the outdoor spaces like bocce ball and potentially pickleball, community gardens, like being playful with it and, let's take this opportunity. These are sort of very efficient cost-wise of ways of upgrading that edge of the park. So looking at the overall site, that south edge you can see is El Segundo, that big green dashed line, that's El Segundo Boulevard. You've got our kind of senior center right there in orange and yellow, and you kind of get a sense of it in 3D, how that elevated second story can really capture all those views. You've got Costco just north of us and FedEx just northeast of us. And then just kind of we need to sort of get into the next phase of design and start to think about what this thing looks like, but just getting kind of a sense of square footage, how big this thing is, the idea of adding a second story, and potentially also this creating this path that connects to the south of the building to the parking lot along the south edge of the Memorial Center. So access and visibility from the south end, views across the park, outdoor patio areas. And that's really everything.
Any questions from staff for City Council? Go ahead.
To the chair, I just have a comment. I love the concept of bringing in natural light. It's a very uplifting thing to have so much sunlight, and the gardens, community gardening, and definitely the commercial kitchen to do demonstrations, cooking demonstrations, because that also helps our homeless population as well. Folks being able to come in there and participate in that, and just health-wise, being able to have lessons on healthy cooking. So the concepts that you've brought in are amazing, and I appreciate you thinking of those things, especially the natural light. That's beautiful. Thank you.
To the chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you both for being here and providing the presentation. I too agree that there could be a lot more done versus what we currently have. We're very fortunate to have the funding to be able to start that off. In your renderings and your drawings, you focused a lot on the West El Segundo Boulevard and just to be able to have the visibility of the senior center from that distance across. Have you done the same visual from behind the building, which is the parking lot behind the Memorial Center? Excuse me, the senior center that's closest to Costco?
Basically where they enter now.
Just that vision there?
Yeah, I mean, I think absolutely that's still. So I'm thinking that maybe there's some way of connecting the two entrances so that you still have a thoroughfare that, you know, a lobby of some sort that connects the two.
So if there's an opportunity for you two to just visit the area, sometimes it's a space that needs to be given additional thought. The park use is for obviously families and just, you know, being able to just, you know, walk the park, play in the park, exercise in the park. But when you have the parking lot being used for other things, right, and you have other uses happening in that area, we need to find a way to deter from that so that we could focus on what the real purpose of parking is, right, and how we need to blend just not the parking lot itself, but the building as a whole. I see the vision of having more sunlight, more open space, and ability to do that. But at the same time, my concern is, and maybe we'll have to work with our city manager and city attorney on how we could better the space. I'm thinking if we enlarge the senior center and make it go, you know, across the parking lot and split the parking lot altogether, and have, you know, the full use of the senior center occupy the space that would lead and bump up to the wall of Costco towards the back.
Wow.
By just splitting the
I see
parking
what you're
lot, by
saying.
just splitting the parking lot, and then we would have more of a real use of the senior center and the parking for those purposes, right? And if there's some way we could secure that with, you know, a lot of parking structures, a lot of buildings have now the handle that goes, the arm that goes down, and you have to have accessibility in to and from. That's a safety precaution, obviously. And if you talk about our seniors being ADA compliant, having the necessities that they need to be able to frequent that building, those are all things that should be, you know, included. But I love the fact that it's bigger height going up in density, and the uses in which it has the potential. However, I really want to see the back area of that parking lot included, to where, again, we could use it as a deterrent, and more importantly, for the full use of the senior center exclusively. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Through the chair. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Actually, you know, I was at the senior center about a couple of days ago. So this actually is beautiful, to tell you the truth, because and this is what we want for our seniors to have a place to feel like better than home per se, right?
Yeah.
So a place of invitation for them to come every single day, not just to eat lunch, but to spend most of their time, and, you know, to have that commodity, interact with other seniors. I love the idea about the accessibility from the El Segundo, because definitely there is no pad there. So it will be great to do that, because that is the main boulevard that travels, especially connects to the Monito Gardens area that is across of El Segundo to the south. What Ms. English has said, it's kind of like, it's interesting, because we do have on the back there some people just go there playing cards and do some other stuff that maybe we can just deteriorate. So the back to the Costco wall is an interesting idea, so to bring it up. But I love the idea, the concept of this building, because that is what it's all about, to give seniors access and to give them a lot of activities, a lot of different events. So I love the idea. The only thing that I don't see on the roof is solar panels.
Aha.
Because I want all our buildings to be, on this 21st century of renewable and clean power, and so we can not create no CO2, right? So I wanted to like green buildings, right? New innovation, new technology. But your concept, I'm very happy to see it. So and it was well designed, and definitely. I would be happy to be a senior in the place. So thank you very much.
Don't age yourself.
Anybody else? Okay. I think that's it. Yes. You got feedback, interesting concept of putting that over there. I know that there are people that hang out there. I do think we could use some other safety measure and precautionary measures. So I liked for you to continue with the design that you have. Also have another option considering what was suggested, so we can just see what your guys' vision is along with staff, etc., and then to see how this ties into it. And perhaps maybe if we have an issue with people there hanging out there, we could talk to our police department and see how we could resolve that. As of now, because the whole purpose of you going up is to increase the space and rooms and accessibility, etc. So I think that in itself serves the purpose of what we're looking to expand and stuff. So, yeah. Thank you. All right. Thank you, man.
Okay. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you. Two great groups. Thank you. Thank you to Rada and to Office Entitled, both of them. Josh Armstrong, please come up. Artificial Intelligence, the Future Unleashed.
Okay.
Wow. The future is here. Wasn't there a movie called I, Robot or something crazy and all this other?
iRobot, War Games,
The robots started to have feelings and they started getting upset at you, and we're gonna have robots going through City Hall and doing stuff. Well, I don't know. We're gonna find out right now.
All right.
Aliens.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Josh Armstrong. I'm in charge of the city's ITS Department, Information Technology Services. So I have a short presentation this evening on AI, basically helping to understand what it is and some of the use cases for it here within the city. So AI, in a nutshell, well, there's several different interpretations of it. There are several different definitions of it, but what is it? Well, it's simply a system of systems that allow a computer to simulate and mimic the human mind and make decisions and execute tasks. It's processes that are put together that all work together for that one common goal to make it appear human-like. At the core, it's machine learning. Just like a human child, a machine has to learn. It's based upon experiences. It's based upon the inputs that the system is actually getting. As a example, a lot of us use Siri, a lot of us use Alexa. If you have ever read that terms and conditions, that that 45-page document that everybody just scrolls through and hits I agree, there is a line in there that says that they're actually going to store, capture, record, and keep in perpetuity everything that it hears and that it gets. Well, outside of the privacy and other issues around that, why do they actually do that? Well, that's because that helps the machine actually learn, right? The machine needs a million different ways of hearing somebody saying, I need dog food, in multiple languages, in multiple dialects, in multiple inflections, to be able to properly respond to that particular question. I have a quick example here. This is a text-based AI, Chat GPT. We provided it a simple question, give me a 2-page essay on AI in municipal government. So we give it the information, it pops through, and it actually starts to give you a introduction, a body, and a conclusion all the way through. Now, there's obviously issues with that, especially if you're, a child in grade school. This is great. I wish I would have had this when I was going through college. It would have made late night essays a lot easier, but I had to actually sit there, crack open a book, and actually work through it. So that's basically how AI works, right? So AI in municipal government, itself. Let's take a look at some of the uses here within Hawthorne. AI can really be used to help to streamline the processes, help make the decisions, direct our citizens to basic answers to city services when we're not here. One of the most exciting things that I actually like about this opportunity is AI can respond in multiple languages. So if we have folks in certain departments, it doesn't always matter what languages that they speak. The AI can help with bridging that gap. Here are some examples for the different departments. Smart traffic management within the Public Works Department, agenda processing within our Clerk's Department, planning, helping to look at environmental impact assessments, and of course there are a myriad of solutions within the public safety realm for video analysis. There are AIs out there that can actually look at live video and look for detection of firearms and provide pre-alerting in our schools. There are, of course, challenges, risks. As with any new technology, there are issues, right? There are concerns, as I mentioned earlier, about privacy. There are issues about what are you doing with that data? Who has it? Where is it going? What is it being stored? Direct costs for standing up the system, as well as the indirect costs of the constant curation of this system. We certainly don't want the AI giving a citizen the wrong information, quoting a wrong price, saying that we have a service when we don't have it, or not even providing any response at all. Just like a human child, it's got to be regularly trained. Somebody's got to keep showing it what it needs to do and how to react in different situations. And of course, I'm probably going to need another staff member to help keep it going. The future outlook, I'll be looking at Eric over there. There are a couple of opportunities here, obviously. A lot of the cities around the state are already going down this path. Several of them are considerably larger than us. City of Alhambra is working with Amazon to integrate with the city's phone system. The city of Southgate was working with Granicus. That project's currently on hold. Aside for that, we are on Granicus's list for early adopter for their AI product for agenda management that is going to be coming out later this in 2024. Monterey County, Paris, West Hollywood, and others are working with a city called a company called CityBot. They make a interactive chat bot that works on multiple platforms. We're going to explore that here in a moment. Of course, as with anything, as we learn, the IT department would definitely recommend that we start small. We learn it, we build a foundation, and then build upon the success. This is chatbot that I was talking about. It works on multiple platforms. It can respond on text. It can respond on our website 24/7. They rose to the top of our list as a partner because they are already working with our website provider, Granicus. They have existing integrations with our Tyler My Civic system and our My 311 system that we already have out there. So it'd be very easy to deploy the system and have it already start to create work orders for our code enforcement folks, answer questions on parking, and help alleviate telephone calls to multiple departments. So I understand that I ran through a whole lot of that. I want to be respectful of the time. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Questions? Go ahead.
To the chair, thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
Josh, thank you so much. I know it was a big undertaking. It was one of my items that I wanted us to take a look at because obviously, as you made mention, it's already in other cities and it's being implemented fairly quickly. I know we're a small city. I know we don't have necessarily the staff. However, this is something that we'll have to come back with a budget to include because it's evolving and it's going to come about to a point where we're going to need you and more help in that department. I like the automated service. I know oftentimes when I call, I'm not getting a person. I know oftentimes the phone's not being answered. So I want to be able to fix that. And I think having AI and the abilities to include that is a potential. So having said that, I know there's a lot more information that is still in the pipelines. I know the city clerk's office is working with regards to getting AI for agenda purposes and reporting purposes and that type of stuff. I mean, it has the potential to do so much. However, I know that our workforce is important too. And I know how important it is for myself and those in the workforce to have a job. And so I'm not trying to take that away. However, where we're short-staffed and need assistance, this is a potential. Where we have trainings and webinars and things that we need for, say, for instance, elected officials, sexual harassment training, say, for instance, other areas of ethics training, things like this that we could easily get that by use of AI and having those props and things available to us via the internet and self-taught training. So having said that, I just want to say thank you. I know it took a lot. I love the presentation. I love the colors. And anything you need, I ask that you work with Vaughn and you bring us back when we come July 1 on a potential budget for this type of use and its allocation. So thank you.
Thank you.
Through the chair, I just want to make sure I heard everything accurately. Some of the uses of our application for AI in our city talked about agenda management and meeting management. Talked about like a phone tree when people are calling into the city, being greeted by some type of AI technology that can understand multiple languages and route them to the solution that they need, and a chat bot that integrates with our website and our app. All right, so yeah, I definitely am in full support of us using prevailing technology to provide greater customer service to our community. So thank you for the presentation.
Through the chair. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, thank you, because this topic is a very sensitive topic, right? Because everybody, some of us are scared of AI. Some of us are using AI. Even I have an app on my phone, right? Because English is my fifth language that I learned. So now everything before I send a text, I just put it on through AI just to correct my spelling. But it's a good thing that it's there. The only thing that I just want us to be careful about is that when we bring AI with the technology, is not to replace the human factor, right? It's a good tool because it can create policy and procedures based on whatever topic you gave them. So that is where maybe we can always use it as a supplement of individual doing the work. So it's like a tool that we can use with human characteristic that'll be there to supplement all the work that needs to be done. Maybe the work will be easy and faster, right? Because instead of go do a lot of research, once upon a time you would have to go to the library, you have to go Google search. But now one click away, it can give you about 10 pages on, policy to create a new parking structure, for example, right? So those kind of things. So, but thank you for the presentation, because now it puts a much better clarity how we are currently using AI, or potentially using of AI for our own benefit, to make sure that our customer service or service delivery is better in the world out there of the technology. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. We do see the wonderful applications, simple applications that could be applied to different departments and different functions. Just need to be careful, because AI is not a joke, and it's a system that can exponentially grow, and the knowledge of the system, and it can grow, and it can keep growing, it can build and build and build, and if there's nothing to stop the system from its learning all the different data and all the different sequences and all the different functions, it could just get out of hand. So I think we just need to we have our functions and our applications that we could apply, but I think as a city and as individuals, we need to just be aware that we just need to make sure that we have our elected officials in higher office, make sure that they regulate this technology as much as possible. This is one thing that could really get out of hand, and this is coming from an engineer's perspective here. Okay, so that's it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, guidelines for oral communications.
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any individual council member. During oral communications, speakers shall have 3 minutes to state their business. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from providing a detailed response or acting upon any items not contained on the agenda. The governing bodies as a body shall have the discretion at the close of oral communications to refer any remarks to the city manager for study, investigation, report, and/or recommendation.
I have one card. Anybody else wishing to address the City Council, form a line. John L. Jefferson, Del Air Baptist.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I want to thank you all so much for the presentation this evening. I really appreciate that. I'm humble that you thought about little old me. I just want to share with you, I want to say thank you to Angie English and the chief and the community services and all of the volunteers that showed up a couple weeks ago for Thanksgiving. We were able to provide 420 turkeys. In addition to the turkeys, we provided 2 weeks' worth of groceries to 420 families for the city of Hawthorne and the surrounding community. We are now preparing to provide 350 families with a meal for the Christmas holiday. We're currently working again with Hawthorne School District to make sure those families that are most impacted by the economic situation will have enough food to last throughout the winter break. And so we've also joined forces with them. We also joined forces with the Department of Children and Family Services to impact those families that are here in Hawthorne and also the surrounding communities. We have today was the last, I believe is the last holiday party that we have provided for children, and we've been able to provide them with not just toys, but tangible toys, switches and AirPods and all of those things, real tangible things that they're able to have. And that happens through the generosity of the people of our congregation, as well as some of our donors within the community. And I just wanted to say thank you that we are continuing to work hard and to serve this community, and as well as those persons that are less fortunate than we are. This Saturday, we're going to be graduating 110 mothers and fathers who have either completed 12 weeks of parenting, 26 weeks of parenting, 20 weeks of anger management, and 52 weeks of domestic violence. And we'll be graduating them, giving them their rites of passage, and as well as we want to invite you, the members of the City Council, as well as members of the community, to come and see these parents. And I tell you, bring your tissue,
because they will hurt you in your heart and make you feel like, hey, maybe I need to be a better parent. Amen. So we just want to encourage you all. And again, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve this community. It's been a great pleasure. God bless you and keep you.
When was that graduation again?
It's Saturday at 12 o'clock. It's going to be at Del Air Baptist Church, and we're going to have some Juan Polo this Saturday. This Saturday, some Juan Polo. If you haven't had Juan Polo, go to the east side and get you some Juan Polo chicken.
Chicken, yeah.
Hey, God
You
bless
said 12
you.
o'clock?
Thank you, Pastor.
12 o'clock this Saturday at Del Air Baptist
Juan Polo.
Church.
There's a store. Yeah.
It's
Thank you.
Juan Polo chicken. Yeah.
I've never heard that.
You got to come have some.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, if I can get my foot out of my mouth. I have two questions. What was it? Wednesday night, we had, at our church, we had a homeless lady looking for a place to stay. I told her to go over to Memorial Park. She went there. She said she's been on a waiting list for 5 months and got no answers from the homeless trailer. And I said, well, they can help you. But she goes, I'm tired of going over there. I'm not getting no answers. Nobody's talking to me. They got me waiting for 5 months for a place to where I can go get help. And she was on our, on the side of on eucalyptus, not bothering nobody. I asked her if she needed help or if she was hungry. She goes, I said, well, there's a program for homeless people over at Hawthorne Memorial Park. Well, I've been there and the service is crab apples. I've been there. I've been on the list for 5 months and I've got no answers, no questions, no help, no nothing. On Thanksgiving, I had, thanks to Angie and the Church of Nazarene, they both helped me out with the turkeys. I went out, me and two ladies from our church, we cooked them both. I had Thanksgiving and the two ladies that helped me cook it. And we gave our security cat at the church his turkey. And then what was left, I went around the community and made to-go bags full of hot meals, turkey, the gravy, the fixings, and handed them out to homeless people and people that, like at Ralph's, the security guard that was working Thanksgiving. So I was passing out food, turkey and stuff for people that don't have Thanksgiving or had no place to go have their Thanksgiving. I've been doing it for the last 3 years of doing with everything that Angie and the Church of Nazarene's been giving me. I made sure that I know what it's like to be in their shoes. I've been there since my mom passed away and my dad. So I give back to people to know the unfortunates that I've been in their shoes, so I know what it's like. But we need to find out what's going on with the homeless trailer. Why the lady's been on a waiting list for 5 months and no answers. And she's tired of. She goes, forget Hawthorne. They're not getting no answers from anybody. So, all right, thank you.
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gordon Michael Migo, native resident of Hawthorne since October the 8th, 1952. Jeez, time's already up, huh?
we knew you were coming, man. Just kidding. Keep going. Give him his time.
Okay.
Give him his time.
All right. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving Day and weekend too, and it was good weather and all that kind of stuff. So family, friends, and all, and yeah, we're blessed in the South Bay area here with all the the wondrous things that people and events and so forth. Coming up, I would say that I was listening to the presentations, like on the senior center, and there's a lot of good possibilities there. And I think as we kind of converse, amongst yourselves and the public and all that, we'll come up with a great plan, in the finality. And regards to the civic center, I was speaking to the gentleman and gentlewoman that did the presentation, just a little bit ago, and I was saying that the important thing is that we want to maintain a two-way street on 126th Street. I think it's also important, and so we don't want to go the one-way street kind of route. I think the parking, the way it is on the street, is fine. Now, as far as like the parking structure that was being touted for being underground, underneath like the park and all that, I would say that I would, in place of that, is to focus on that area where the city owns the two lots, just due south of the proposed parking structure that's on the corner of Greville and 126th Street, and on the other side of the apartment and the house, you have the two lots that the city utilizes for their vehicles. I would say build another parking structure right there, and that you could, because you're talking about like a 3 or 4 story structure at 126th Greville. To build in those two large lots, I think you would provide an enormous amount of parking. It would be above ground sunlight, because you're talking about, like, if you're talking about underground, you're talking about safety issues. You're talking about whenever there's water that would go down. Of course, you would have to have bilge pumps and all that. And then you're close to a railroad. There's problems that could be associated closest to that. So I think there would be more than sufficient parking in that regard. Also, I like the diagonal parking along Hawthorne Boulevard, which is kind of an extension of what you've been doing up and down the boulevard. And I would, as some of you have mentioned, that you don't want to try to cram too much into one space. It has to be really thoughtful and consider a lot of different aspects. And I would hope that we could do maybe some kind of like a little community meeting.
Can you provide this? Your time is up, sir. Can you provide the rest in writing if you like, or just come back at the...
I'm just going to suggest that we have some community meetings where people could come together and say, here, this is what I like, this is what I like, and maybe we can come up with a really great plan.
We're all supporters of that, sir, so we'll make sure that happens. Thank you.
And just to close,
sir,
I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas.
No, we can't do without that. Merry Christmas to you too, sir. All right. Go ahead, ma'am.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. I'm very uncomfortable about what I'm about to say. We've been doing an awful lot of talk lately about diversity. We've been doing a lot of talk about inclusion. And yet at the meeting a month ago, you were having a great deal of discussion about putting out a letter on city letterhead, taking one side or another on an issue pertaining to a war going on in another country. It was uncomfortable. It was awkward. And I guess I'm at the point where I think there's enough on the plate for those of you sitting up here having to do with the governance of the city of Hawthorne. When you have the city in the state that it needs to be in, perhaps we can start telling other governments what they should or should not be doing. My discomfort was increased tonight because while I have the utmost respect for every single one of the clergy members who were honored here tonight, again, all of those members were from one faith community. Tonight is the 6th night of Hanukkah. There was nobody here to deal with that issue. We have a great deal of community involvement from the members of our Islamic community and the Islamic Center. Where were they? You're giving city money to religious organizations, which I think is a violation of the Establishment Clause. Now, those of you who want to say that I'm anti-Christian, that's not the case. As you may or may not be aware, I am also clergy. But I keep my spiritual life and my civic life separate from each other. And I would request that you give some thought to doing the same thing when you're sitting on the dais. You make those of us who are not part of that specific faith community feel unwelcome, uncomfortable, rejected. So please keep that in your thoughts. As far as the other presentations went, they were very impressive, and I think you all have enough on your plates to be able to make those plans come to fruition. One thing I would like to see in the new City Hall complex, I think we have the opportunity to put up a beautiful set of flagpoles, and I think it would also be very, very nice if we could have some kind of memorial in that city plaza dealing with our veterans, or for people to be able to buy bricks with their veterans' names on, or the family names. That would be something nice to have. One other thing that I was concerned about is that the parking, that's the angled parking on the southbound side of Hawthorne Boulevard, would, according to the diagrams, would require backing into those spaces. I wondered if that's what was intended, or does that need to be tweaked? Thank you very much, and happy Hanukkah.
All right, just a moment. I'm going to respond to that, and I think we need to. The city of Hawthorne is not going to change anything that it's doing right now. We will continue to have an invocation at the beginning where we invoke God, Allah, Yahweh. We will continue to have an invocation. I don't hear you complaining when we do that. I don't hear you saying that there's a violation of any establishment law or any constitutional violation when it comes to that. Freedom of expression. You say your husband's a veteran, as many people here. We have a lot of people who are very patriotic. Okay? Our Pledge of Allegiance says, under God. Are we going to reject the Pledge of Allegiance now? Are you suggesting that? No, we're not. We're going to continue saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay? A lot of these faith-based organizations that were mentioned today do a lot to be able to organize food drives, to giveaways, toy giveaways, and do a lot for the community. Okay, they happen to be Christian-based, and as the Islamic Center also comes and invites us to all the events that they have. So they're free to come up here and free to express themselves however they wish. It's their First Amendment right. They're feeling the pain of losing loved ones. They came up and requested that. So we have the Christian, the Islamic. I don't think we have a Jewish synagogue here in the city. If there is one, please let me know. And then we can invite those clergy members to come up and speak. But the great majority of the residents here in the city of Hawthorne happen to be Christian and Islamic. So as we've had an Islamic prayer, and as I said, if there's an active Jewish group here in the city, please suggest and tell us who they are so they can become more involved, because they're not part of our ministerial group. We would like to include them in there. Okay? But the city of Hawthorne is not going to stop invoking God at the beginning of this meeting. We're not going to stop saying the Pledge of Allegiance because it's referring to the Christian God. And we're not going to stop supporting our faith-based organizations. That's just going to remain the same. And you can keep coming back and saying the same thing, but unless you give us some help here, then, maybe we'll leave everything as is. Okay?
Hello, my name is James Johnson, and I'm a junior at Hawthorne High School.
Can you speak into the mic?
Yeah.
Hello?
We can hardly hear you. You're kind of tall there.
You go. Hello, my name is James Johnson, and I'm a junior at Lawndale High School. I live on El Segundo, down Eucalyptus Avenue, and I'm here to ask you to request for a bike lane down El Segundo. Many high schoolers come out during 3 p.m. and people with bikes, scooters, skateboards, they're trying to get home quickly. It'll take to going to the streets to skate home, and that's very dangerous for not only the people on the sidewalk, but the people off the sidewalk. And so I request a bike lane down the street.
Is this the first time you come to a council meeting?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We all congratulate you on being up here and doing your civic duty by asking this of the city council. What we can do is take your name. There's a form, an official form. It's all fancy and everything, right? Gets your information so we can follow up with you to let you know what we found.
All right.
Are you okay with that? Awesome. Thank you. What's your name again? James Johnson. Thank you so much. Anybody else wishing to address the city council? Okay, oral communication is close ordered. All right. Mr. Mayor. Your consent calendar.
Mr. Mayor, I have 6 items on the consent calendar. They are items 5 through 10 for your consideration and approval. Item 5, approval of waiver of full readings of resolutions and/or ordinances on tonight's agenda. Item 6, approval of city council meetings for the regular meeting of October 10th, 2023, and the special meeting of November 28th, 2023. Item 7, city treasurer requests approval of the warrants for December 12th, 2023. Item 8, resolution number 8445, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving the First Amendment to the City Manager Employment Agreement between the City of Hawthorne and Vontre Norris. Item 9, resolution 8446, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving the First Amendment to the City Attorney Employment Agreement between the City of Hawthorne and Robert M. Kim. Item 10, Resolution 8447, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving the amendments to the terms and conditions of employment of those employees represented by part-time Hawthorne Municipal Employee Association for adoption.
I'll move.
Second.
One moment.
Before you do that, Mr. Mayor, for items number 8 and 9, for Mr. Norris and myself, we have to step away from the dais because of conflict of interest before you take up the 2 matters.
You want us to go ahead and take the vote on 8 and 9 separate then? We'll just.
No. Can both of you guys just step out?
Yeah, we just need to step off the dais.
We'll step out.
Just a moment.
Not unless we haven't pulled anything to
thought it
vote on
would
the
be.
dip separately.
I thought it would be.
Would you like to pull one?
When we pull those 2 items, then they leave.
Just off the dais.
Oh, okay.
Just off the dais. Does anybody plan on pulling anyone individually?
So we're gonna vote on which ones now? I make a motion on item 5, 6,
Items
7.
5 through 10.
No, I know. I'm gonna make a motion on all items.
I just made a motion.
Oh, you did?
And there was a second.
Okay. Please vote. Please vote.
Seconded by David.
Okay, good. Sorry about that, guys. They put up the
So high tech.
I know, right? We don't. Who says we need AI?
No. Well,
Just teasing.
The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Awesome.
Congratulations, city manager and city attorney.
And the part-time.
50 years.
You ever watch Rick and Morty?
What?
You ever watch Rick and Morty?
What about it? Which one?
There's a line in Rick and Morty where
Did he say something similar?
100 years, Rick and Morty, 100 years.
100 years? 100 years? Okay. All right, so let's see. This one was a very dramatic vote right there with paper. You have a public hearing? Public hearing.
Item 11, now is the time and place for a public hearing and introduction of ordinance number 2247, amending section 17.29.040, development standards of chapter 17.29, MC, mixed commercial classification, to be in compliance with the housing element by removing constraints to residential and mixed-use developments and approving an addendum to the Hawthorne General Plan Environmental Impact Report. No written communications were received. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the City Council introduce ordinance number 2247.
I'll introduce.
No, just a moment.
Hold on, public hearing.
Is there anybody wishing to speak on this item first? No? Okay, so we need to have the city clerk read that item into the record.
Ordinance number 2247, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, amending Section 17.29.040, Development Standards of Chapter 17.29, MC Mixed Commercial Classifications to be in compliance with the housing element by removing constraints to residential and mixed-use developments and approving an addendum to the Hawthorne General Plan Environmental Impact Report for introduction.
I'll introduce. Thank you.
We have an ordinance on the agenda. Item 12, ma'am, could you read it?
Ordinance number 2246, second reading, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, amending Section 2.17.040, Terms of Office, of Chapter 2.17, Youth Commission, amending Section 2.18.040, Terms of Office, of Chapter 2.18, Civil Service Commission, amending Section 2.19.020, Members of Chapters 2.19, Veterans Affairs Commission, amending Section 2.20.040, Terms of Office of Chapter 2.20, Senior Citizens Commission, amending Section 2.22.040, Terms of Office of Chapter 2.22, Parks, Recreation, and Fine Arts Commission, amending Section 2.28.090 of Chapter 2.28, Planning Commission of the Hawthorne Municipal Code, and making a finding of exemption in compliance with CEQA in connection therewith for adoption.
I move.
Second.
Please vote on your card. Place it in front.
I was gonna say, someone's gonna get their workout today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your cooperation.
She's still off the dais. She's not voting on this one.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's fine.
City Clerk. It's only 4. Just kidding. Can you announce the vote? Oh no, that's all. That's what I was calling for.
Oh, what am I thinking here? I got too many things going on. Okay, so let's see. The voting reflects council, mayor and council voting yes.
Except for with Manning.
Oh, Manning is absent.
Which is okay. Item 13.
Item 13, 2023 California Legislative Update. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council receive and file.
I move.
Second.
Did we miss 12?
Please vote.
Did we miss 12? No?
Oh, no,
It's already passed.
we already
Okay.
voted on it.
Okay.
Please
Yeah,
vote.
11 we just introduced and 12 we voted on.
Please vote. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please vote on your card. Place it in front of you.
But that's general matters.
Just for this meeting, right?
General matters. We have to vote on that general matters.
Thank you, sir, for being
Vote
here.
on general matters once.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't need to vote on this. On the general matters, we don't need to vote on.
Yep. It calls for a vote.
It does
General
not
matters.
call for vote.
You don't have to vote, you know?
Yeah, this is.
Mr. Kim explained to
Hey,
them
we
that
voted,
general matters don't
whether
need
you
to
like it or
call for
not,
to
we're
receive and
voting.
file.
The voting
We're
reflects
saying
mayor
that.
and council voting yes.
All right.
Fire.
Next, we have the city manager's consent calendar. Madam Clerk, the agenda reflects you have items 14 through 23 of the city manager's consent calendar. Please proceed by introducing each item into the record.
Item 14, Alley Improvement Project, CDBG Funds, project number 24-06 out to bid. Item 15, Alondra Park Multi-Benefit Storm Water Capture Project, cost-sharing payment of $500,000 per partnership agreement dated September 5th, 2023. Item 16, agreement between the City of Hawthorne and Office Untitled for design services for the City Hall Expansion and Civic Center Project, Project 2401. Item 17, progress payment number 1 in the amount of $633,164.74 due to GRB Con, Inc. of Baldwin Park for sewer main and miscellaneous storm drain improvement project 2023, project number 23-04. Item 18, progress payment number 2 in the amount of $315,837 due to Huntington Beach Electric, Inc. of Huntington Beach, California, for Hawthorne Jim Thorpe Park and City Hall Council Chambers Lighting Project, Project 23-07. Item 19, agreement between the City of Hawthorne and Reina Alomar Architect, Inc. for design services for City of Hawthorne Senior Center, Project 24-03. Item 20, City of Hawthorne's investment report for the quarter ended September 30th, 2023. Item 21, review of the Quarter 1 financial report for fiscal year 2023-2024. Item 22, progress payment number 2 in the amount of $253,427.40 due to Martinez Landscape Company, Inc. of Sylmar, California, for general maintenance, project number 22-05. Item 23, payment in the amount of $34,880 due to Los Angeles Neighborhood Land Trust for Zella Davis Park renovation. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 14 through 23?
I move.
Second.
Please vote on your little sheet and place it in front of you for pickup.
Okay, Mr. Kim.
Musical chairs.
Yeah.
He's actually looking at him.
I don't know what that means, but. Oh, I think you got somebody who might want to vote. Do you want to vote?
It's on the record, yes. Your video doing this, right?
The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you.
I'll get your
Thank you, ma'am.
thing from you because I'm recording this.
Yeah, just.
Yes.
Just put it. I'll pass it around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City Attorney's consent calendar. We have the City Attorney's consent calendar. Madam Clerk, the agenda reflects you have items 24 through 26 on the City Attorney's consent calendar. Please proceed by introducing each item into the record, ma'am.
Item 24, claim for damages, J. Jose P. A. Sono Rosas. Recommended motion, deny the claim for damages of J. Jose P. A. Sono Rosas. Item 25, agreement between the City of Hawthorne and Carpel Solutions for criminal case management software. Recommended motion, staff recommends that City Council approve the agreement with Carpel Solutions for criminal case management software in an amount not to exceed $29,000. Authorize the city manager to execute the agreement and any related documents, and authorize the purchase order and encumber funds for the same. Item 26, claim for damages of Leonard Hardaway. Recommended motion, deny the claim of Leonard Hardaway. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the City Attorney's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 24 through 26?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Please vote on your card. Place it in front of you for pickup.
The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the coordination here, guys. I will now recess the City Council meeting and open the Housing Authority meeting. Madam Clerk, can you please proceed with item 27 under the Housing Authority? Page 9, I think it's on our sheet.
Now is the time and place for a public hearing on the draft substantial amendment to the 2020-2024 Consolidated Plan and 2020-2021 Action Plan for the Community Development Block Grant, Coronavirus CDBG CV Program. No written communications were received. Recommended motion, the staff advises that the council, 1, conduct the public hearing and receive comments on the draft substantial amendment to the 20-24 Consolidated Plan and the 20-21 Action Plan for the use of Community Development Block Grant, Coronavirus CDBG-CV funds. Number 2, adopt the 20-24 Consolidated Plan and 20-21 Action Plan and authorize the city manager or designee to submit the plan and any necessary amendments to the plan to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. Number 3, authorize the city manager or designee to negotiate, execute, and amend contracts with subrecipients or professional service providers as necessary to implement the CDBG-CV projects identified. Number 4, authorize the city manager or designee to execute, amend, and submit to HUD all plans and documents necessary to administer the CDBG-CV program.
Are there any speakers wishing to speak? If not, I'll declare the hearing.
Wait. Oh, sorry. I thought she was walking up.
I don't know. Thank you, Councilwoman. If I don't see anybody, I think that person was walking out kind of slow, so that's why you thought she might be turning around this way. Is there anyone wishing to speak on the topic? If not, I'll declare the hearing closed ordered. Councilwoman Manning.
When you said someone wished to speak, she got up, so I thought she was coming this way.
The joke was on us, huh?
Do we have to vote on that?
I was going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody wishing to make a motion? I make a motion.
Back.
Please vote. We just got just enough cards here, so
Sweet.
it worked out okay.
Y'all, let's marker on my hand.
Huh?
Y'all, let's marker.
How the heck you do that?
Clumsy, I guess.
Don't worry, I got some.
Did you get mine?
Nah, she doesn't want to turn in. She's too cool for it.
The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you guys for helping with the coordination of the little cards that we're filling out. Thank you for the city clerk's office and the city manager for coordinating this. All right.
Are we waiting for one?
Yes.
Are we waiting for a council member or no?
We'll just start.
Okay.
I mean, these are pretty interesting topics. I think it's cool. I think it's good. Moratorium on autonomous vehicles.
Mr. Mayor, you need to close the Housing Authority.
I
and
did
Rio.
it.
You did?
I will now recess the Housing Authority meeting and reopen the City Council meeting, Mr. City Attorney. Okay. Next, we have the City Council's discussion action items. Councilmember Reyes English has an item 28. Talk to us.
Thank you, Mayor and council colleagues. In my vision for the city of Hawthorne has always been one of public safety and concerns that keep us away from any potential lawsuits or those alike. For many years, we've been able to change the city to allow for safety along our bikeways and our bus transportation. And so I just thought I would bring these items for consideration. Let me first start by saying I'm for all means of transportation, however you feel you want to be able to get to your destination. I'm for all of that. And there's just some that I just have concerns about that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. And I'm going to do these individually, maybe taking some of the most concerns through a moratorium. If you remember, I believe a couple years ago, I had requested a moratorium on car washes.
Yes.
I don't necessarily believe that our city needs any more car washes. And so that was one that I wanted to pause if we could. And then the other I wanted to bring to our attention was golf carts or electric carts. Those types of carts, golf carts, etc., are more for the beach cities. And they've been used, along the beach cities for years. I don't see it really being a necessity here on our city streets. And so I just wanted to assure, and then including those would be the e-bikes and scooters. For cities have concerns about the e-bikes and scooters speeding on bike paths and sidewalks. Some beach cities, such as Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, have passed ordinances restricting the speeds of bikes and on bike paths by the beach. There is a law that passed in 23 AB 1909 that cities cannot restrict e-bikes or bike paths, trails or bikeways and bicycle lanes, and they cannot require riders to have a license, which we don't. We don't. Everybody, that has these types of bikes and whatnot already in their possessions, we're not trying to have you give those up. We're just trying to tighten up a little bit of our concerns with regards to how they're left on our streets and on our sidewalks. Having said that, let's see, the new law also stops cities and counties from enforcing bicycle license laws, in which we already know that too. We've actually managed to put bike lanes on Hawthorne Boulevard, which has helped a lot of our pedestrians that are on bikes and taking Metro to be a little bit safer and more aware of where the bikes ride on our streets and where our cars are restricted to. So with that, I want to just make sure again that the types of businesses that we're bringing into Hawthorne are businesses that are helping our families here in our community when it comes to sit-down restaurants, when it comes to grocery stores, when it comes to healthcare and these types of things. And I just wanted to limit, if you could just keep that in mind with regards to how you are doing business with a potential business coming to Hawthorne, including the mini motorbikes. If you've seen those on our streets, those are illegal. They require a license and registration from the DMV. And then also want to piggyback on that along with the autonomous vehicles, which we know today, we've read in many news stories and have watched cities such as San Francisco and in other cities actually having legal battles with regards to these types of vehicles. I guess when I talk about a moratorium, I want to talk more about those things that we don't necessarily need, which is the car washes and the golf carts, the electric carts, the e-bikes and scooters and the motorbikes, which are illegal, and the autonomous vehicles. Again, these are just things that I just want to bring to your attention that we need to be careful with and on if we're looking at a bigger city like we are, and with the growth of our city, including our new civic center and the potential that we have. These kind of things are maybe not necessarily a good fit for Hawthorne, but I wanted to bring it to your attention just to give some thoughts, because just yesterday I was downtown Los Angeles and I was seeing all the scooters and the e-bikes just thrown on the sidewalks. People literally having to walk over them or step over them, or when they exit the Metro buses, having to literally, walk over these types of equipment that are laying on the sidewalk. Again, it's scary to think that folks that have ADA compliant issues can't walk freely, or not walk, but use their wheelchairs freely down sidewalks and things like this because of this type of equipment that are blocking their paths. Especially, say for instance, those that might be blind. So these kinds of things are, again, just concerns for the public safety, concerns for pedestrians, and potentially things that we need to think more about as a family, as a community of family, in bringing resources to families more than these types of things, such as e-bikes and scooters and things like this. But yeah.
Thank you for bringing this up. I think we
I know it's a lot.
No, it is a lot. I think a lot of, and so I think the moratorium can apply to the dental offices. Restricting use of these autonomous vehicles, mini motorbikes, electric golf carts, e-bikes. That's I think that we have to be careful on the terminology for that, or it's just a different process to be able to deal with each. But when it comes to the moratorium or restricting, we got to think about the purpose. And I do remember that car washes were brought up before for moratoriums, because the thing, and what's the purpose of having a moratorium? It would be so that we can leave space and make the possible uses of properties for other uses that would benefit the city. We have too many car washes. I would like to add the dental offices. We have an overabundance of dental offices. Okay, I think we have an overabundance of dental offices, and we have a sufficient amount of nail salons, you know? I mean, you're going to go to one nail salon for one hand and go to the other one for the other one and the third for the feet or something, or what? I mean, I think it's an overabundance of that. And the purpose would not be, we don't want you guys to come here and, you know, do this. We just have an overabundance, and we would like to have the opportunity open for other businesses, whatever they might be, right? Maybe a restaurant, maybe some other service. You know, I don't think we only have like 3 dry cleaning places or whatever. Okay, so I think I like to ask staff to just study the moratorium concept on the car washes, and I threw in 2 additional ones: dental offices and nail salons. And then I
So
think,
if that's the case, let's do massage parlors too.
well, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'll throw that one in there.
And yeah. Then the moratorium. I know my colleague over here. I'm not. No, just wait. You're gonna let me finish.
I'm
All
letting you finish.
We just need to make. Okay, so the motorbikes, the electric scooters. We just need to see what laws are out there that allow for us to restrict them. That's why staff needs to study that concept too on the restrictions part.
Well, the mini motorbikes are not allowed by the DNV, right?
Well, if they're not, they'll give us the report.
And the autonomous vehicles are not,
That's
because
like
it's
those
not
cars
permitted by
that
DNV.
self-drive around.
Yeah, but it's not permitted by DNV.
The
And then-
autonomous aspect,
Right. They're not.
like a car that drives itself, and and just drives, and the person's just leaning back having a cocktail in there. Those type of cars.
Mine.
It's a full driverless
That's what I was-
self-driving car, and only for testing purposes, and manufacturers must get a specific permit from DNV.
So, I just want to just delineate between the moratorium and the restrictions.
Yes.
So if city attorney along with staff could just look at that, tell us what we can and we can't do on my end. I don't know if you want to add more stuff.
So the directive is to look at the legality of these moratorium that we were talking about, not
And the moratorium on like things like car washes, dental offices, nail salon, massage parlors, and restricting all the other vehicles that could be automated, could be or electric, and
Okay, got it.
okay, good.
Through the chair.
Oh, see, now you're gonna make it go longer.
Why
But
do you
okay.
have to say it like that?
Because he's was going, I see him turning page.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Yes, absolutely. You can talk.
Okay, so I agree about car washes and dental office and nail salon. I think we got plenty of those. So maybe it's just a matter of say we are not going to give no more permits to build or to set up those kind of stuff. So moratorium could be the language. But I'm just going to be ask my colleagues to be very cautious when it comes to moratorium on the autonomous vehicles, mini bikes, even the electric scooter, golf carts. Because I can give you an example about the golf carts, right? We are part of the South Bay City Council of Governments, South Bay COG, that we've been advocating for slowing down traffic, right? Create alternative vehicles, too many vehicles, in the street, and to slow down traffic. And they have launched some pilot program actually in El Segundo that is going to begin using this type of golf cart, little small electric cars, only to go 25 miles an hour, to try to take people out of their comfort zone driving a 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour on the streets, right? So, and we are part of that coalition that is been promoting the travel network, that people actually, instead of driving their cars, they will find another alternative transportation, like the electric bikes. Our one police officer have electric bikes. A lot of people are using those electric bikes to commute, to go to work, and to come back from home. So, and the other thing to think about, all these innovation technology, when it comes to autonomous vehicles, all those things, those are also potential job creation that business can open in our city to produce these kind of vehicles or electric scooters or mini bikes. So if we put moratorium, those people be thinking, oh, Hawthorne is not for innovation. It's not for technology. So they will not open business in Hawthorne. So that's why we need to be careful, because to find the legal way to stop these people of driving these mini bikes or these mini scooters is a different way. But the moratorium, then you just stop business to come to Hawthorne, right? Innovation technology. SpaceX is one of them. Tesla is building automated trucks. Design them right there, right here. So we have to start thinking about bringing this stuff to do moratorium, because then we're hurting ourselves to grow Hawthorne forward and to bring innovative technology into our cities. For example, some of the technology that frankly we want. We want, for example, that mall to be developed into office space and technology and aerospace. All these technology that involve everything we're talking about. So I will say car wash, I'm 100% on board, but these other items, I would stay off the book. Let's see what's coming down the pipe, because if we start putting moratorium, so then people look at Hawthorne, we're not business friendly. We don't want to do business with Hawthorne. So that's my 2 cents.
All right. I just want to respond to that carefully. I think based on how the response you gave to the council was, it seems like you think that a moratorium on industries or businesses or companies that are going to build these different objects. Okay? And that's not what we're referring to. We're talking about their use throughout the city. So restrict, that's why I said, that's why I made the separation between restriction of the use of these types of vehicles versus a moratorium, which is not allowing certain businesses that build certain things or give certain types of services. Okay? The example that you gave with regards to, even if that were to apply, the example you gave with regards to the golf carts and that being a mobility solution in the city of El Segundo is not like the city of Hawthorne. About 1/4 to 1/5 of the city, 4/5 to 3/5 of the city is mostly industrial. So it's only a small 20% of the square mileage of El Segundo that is residential, and over there, it's not a well-trafficked community.
Right.
You could go around in your golf carts and do whatever the heck you want, going to whoever's neighbor's house or going down,
but through the chair.
Just let me complete my thought. And so I don't think there's a correlation that if we were going to restrict the use of these vehicles, that if a company found an open building here with the sizable square footage
Manufacturing.
for manufacturing purposes, they don't care if we allow that stuff to be used here or not. They will relocate here to the city of Hawthorne because of the synergy we have with regards to our technology already with SpaceX, Tesla, and all the other businesses that support. So let's just make sure that we're careful between using the word moratorium on all these other things. We're talking restricting and moratorium.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Just to be careful how we approach these issues. The reason that I gave you an example about El Segundo, because it's a pilot program that was created by the 16 cities that we are part of it, and it's the travel network that is trying to create solution for the South Bay, the entire South Bay. It's not just El Segundo. It's the entire South Bay, the 16 cities that we are part of it. So that's what I just gave. It was a pilot project. So
Yeah.
I'm not comparing El Segundo with Hawthorne, but it's just a pilot project that they want to see if it works, and then the 16 cities could create a mobility solution to take costs off the street. Because you see how many accidents that we have in our own cities. People flying on 120, El Segundo, Inglewood, right? A lot of accidents happen. So that's the way we're trying to talk about to slow down traffic in South Bay, because there is a lot of freeways. A lot of people get on the freeway, use our streets, and then, it put our residents' safety in jeopardy. So that's one of the things we need to start thinking about. Because like I said, I have a Tesla, and my Tesla have a self-drive. I can summon that car to come pick me up from here to my house without me driving it.
Maybe we should make that illegal then.
So that's kind of things that you have to start thinking about. Innovation is here, and we cannot and then you will have people that will not come to live in Hawthorne because, I cannot drive my scooter, I cannot drive an electric bike.
Oh, I doubt that.
No, but that's the reality of life.
No, you can't tell people where to go.
All right.
But we're trying to stop
Anyway,
that.
All right, I'm just going to end it.
Thank you,
For those-
council member.
for
Thank
those-
you. Can I finish? Can
Let-
I
let-
finish
let-
my discussion action item?
I'll give it to you right now.
Thank you.
For that same reason, you said that people are speeding down Imperial Highway
Yeah.
and the major. You don't want to throw a golf cart in there to get just
Thank you.
thrashed around.
Like
So,
that's going to stop
all right.
them. Like, ooh.
Let's send it over to staff.
Thank
Let's
you.
just get.
No, thank you. No, thank you so much. I appreciate your comments. I do. I appreciate everyone's comments up here. And thank you for just adding some more in there. I should have thought of those myself too. But truly, thank you. Not to add, I don't want to continue adding, but lately we have been seeing a lot of accidents, a lot of deaths. There's been, batteries blowing up. There's been houses being burned, garages being burned, due to faulty batteries, due to these types of things. So again, I'm not saying it's going to happen to all of those that have these types of toys. I'm just saying that just be aware of how Hawthorne looks in the future and what we're looking for in our new civic center and what types of things do we want on our sidewalk or don't. Okay? Thank you.
So staff's going to take a look at all these things, right? Based on our comments. All right, Councilwoman Manning, your item, please.
Thank you very much, Mayor. So this has been concerning me in a major way. I understand that we don't have credit card available for payment in our licensing. And so I was just thinking that for businesses, when you think about their cash flow, they use their credit card to be able to pay for their business, to pay their licenses. And I just realized that we just sent out the renewals to be able to renew their licenses. So you're going to have thousands of people needing to pay for their business license, but they can't use a credit card because we don't offer that payment. And also, we want to be convenient for our businesses. That's really important to creating comfort and convenience for our businesses. We want to remain a city that offered them the opportunity to be able to pay other than getting a cashier's check or money order. We want them to be able to use a credit card. And also, if we're talking about getting a civic center and moving forward, we need our systems to be updated. So I am urging my council members to agree to make sure that we make this a priority to get our credit cards, payment services, being able to offer folks an opportunity to be able to pay whatever they need to pay to the city by being able to use credit cards or whatever payment methods that we can offer them. But I definitely feel that is super, super urgent and important, especially since all of the renewals just went out for people to update their business license. And it also means offering great customer service. This is what we need to improve on. Having great customer service, and this is one of the things that makes it so that folks will have great customer service coming from the city of Hawthorne. We don't want them complaining, saying all we have to do, because we got to go to the bank, get a cashier's check, and it messes with our cash flow, right? They want to be able to keep their money and use their credit card to help them deal with their cash flow. So what I'm asking is my colleagues to look to direct our city manager to urgently deal with making sure we get what we need to get our credit card system up and running.
Through the chair. City manager, can you tell us what we have currently about credit cards?
Are they here? Who's that?
Pay attention, please.
Oh, man.
Good evening, council, city manager, mayor, mayor and mayor pro tem. So we do have credit card access online. Currently, over the counter, there has been some issues with the system communication. We do actually have credit card access through Parks and Rec. And I am working with the city manager to actually get the access cleared for the credit cards over the counter with the business license. So all of the business license as well have not been sent out. It's just a few right now. But the bulk of them will be sent out before the beginning of the year.
Yes.
On to the chair.
Yes.
I agree that we need to be more automated and more customer service friendly, but I have an example. I went yesterday to AAA to get my car registration. AAA does not accept American Express, no debit card. It was either cash or a credit card. And I go, this is a debit card. No, it's not a credit card. But my American Express is a credit card. No, we don't accept your Master American Express. So I had to go across the street to 7-Eleven, and then I get to 7-Eleven, and the lady says, oh, our ATM's not working. The Wi-Fi is not working, so it doesn't have Wi-Fi. So I was stuck, it's due, and I need to pay my registration. But I don't want to go to the DMV, right? I'm just want to make sure that our city has accessibility to the right credit cards and that they're going directly to our bank accounts. I'm a little iffy with PayPal, Zelle. I'm a little iffy with, the potential fraud, right? Or maybe these payments going to the wrong individual, because, you're supposed to look at it and you're thinking you're sending it to Adrian, and oops, I sent it to another Adrian that's not my Adrian. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So I would be open to the credit cards. I just want to make sure we have all major credit cards, if that's the case, and to avoid anything that's potential for fraud, such as, PayPal. Everything's potential for fraud, but more importantly, the ones that you're using on your phone. I don't want us to have to pay somebody back because they made an error and now they're suing us, or something. Those effects, you know what I mean? But if we already have it in the system and we're using these types of things, I think we just need to make sure that they're constantly working. And if there's a downtime, I don't know, we get them up as soon as possible. But if there's a payment system that you could go online to make a payment, that's great. But I've also talked to businesses that it's been their fault with regards to, oh, I needed to go pay with the check because that's how I work. That's how I operate. They only do checks, or they only want to be able to go directly to the window to pay. So there's two sides to the story, but I definitely am for credit cards. I just want to make sure it's all credit cards and not the other PayPal, Zelle, or others.
To the chair, Mayor, we can look into this, investigate it. One concern I have with taking credit cards for renewals, if a business disputes it, what does the city do at that point? A license has been distributed to that business, and there's a dispute on the fees. So I'm not saying that would happen, but I think when we mention taking credit card payments for licensing renewals, we have to be very cautious of that. So I would ask for the latitude to see what other cities are doing in their license department and work on the best
Because if
practices.
they pay with the credit card, what could happen? They could.
Someone can dispute the charges as a fraudulent charge, but a license had already been generated for that business.
it.
But that's one example of taking
with
credit
the
cards.
credit card company, and then they could try to weasel out of the payment or
And
whatever.
that takes time from staff to actually follow up on that procedure. But what I can do is bring back best practices in licensing departments around the city and bring back a staff report for approval.
Actually, those are good considerations. But you know what? I never thought about that. PayPal, I could see PayPal working, and the credit card. I know you guys might not like it, but the thing if it's connected directly to whatever's being paid, that's just an immediate transfer of money, is it not, Mr. City Manager? Isn't
I
that
would have to study that. I've never heard of a municipality taking PayPal. That's more of
I
a.
never-
I mean, I saw it
consumer-based-
on here. I mean,
well,
just
that's
trying
the
to explore
discussion
all
action
that,
item,
you
but
know?
we can look into it.
I could see the checks.
Check the city of Inglewood.
Okay.
I could see the checks, you know, the checks or company checks, and they could just bail out on that, you know. So,
Yeah,
okay,
checks can bounce too.
yeah.
A check and balance.
You know, to be
Cashier's
quite
check.
honestly,
Or-
all of it could be potential
Hazard.
fraud or hazard, but I just want to make sure that we're offering across the board what other cities are doing, and we're making sure that whatever we do decide to offer, that is convenient for our businesses. But I did check with the city of Inglewood to find out, and that's why I put those there, because that's what they said that they were taking. But of course, I want us to be cautious. And when we do decide, whatever we decide, I want to make sure that, you know, fraud is our priority and make sure that we're cautious. But in terms of Zelle, I do know that, and it's happened to me, that when you send the money, that's it. Like they have a disclosure that says that if you Zelle that person,
That's
you don't
it.
get the money, that's on you. It has nothing to do with the city. That's their fault. So we wouldn't be liable for that.
Yeah.
And they do let you know. But again, I want to do what's in the best interest of the city as it regards to accepting payment. But in addition, I want to make sure that we're accepting payments that's convenient for our business owners, because I know how important it is for cash flow, and a lot of businesses want to use their credit cards to save money. So
Related to this, I just want to make sure that you guys also take a look at remote services that could be paid and done online, as opposed to having people walk in. If there's certain things that we can still like add to the slate of things that we have to do we're able to do online, just
I think we're dealing with two issues here. We're speaking of business license and day-to-day business. So
yeah,
are we-
you know, but like
okay.
in addition, I know, because this
Yeah.
opens up the whole like.
I mean,
customer
some
service.
business licenses are up to $100,000. So is the council comfortable taking a credit card payment for that that amount?
Yeah,
You gotta look at all that, man.
all of that. And then disclosures are very important too, right? Our personal disclosures when, you know, making payments like that. But thank you.
This was a great topic. Thank you, Councilwoman Manning, and thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Reyes English. Those were two good critical stuff. Things.
Just an example.
Okay, we're good. It's staff studies. Okay, item 30, oppose the higher fixed charge by Southern California Edison. Reyes English.
Yeah, very simple. Oppose the higher fixed charge by SoCal Edison. That's my item.
Want to make a motion?
That's the language. Okay, so I'd have to go back on all my notes and take a look, but they are proposing a higher fixed charge, okay, on our residents. And the charge is significant. I could give you more information. However, as of right now, I'd have to pull it up and give you that.
Can we ask them to give a presentation, give us some information?
Are these fixed charges related to transmission or?
Yes, transmission
maybe,
and fires and all this other stuff that they're putting back on us.
Could I, can I interject and explain? The fixed charge dealing with utility bills was a part of a trailer bill that with the state budget that kind of snuck in, and that allows utilities to increase their fixed charge before it was capped at $10. And then now they, through AB 205, when they passed the budget, they snuck in a trailer bill that most of the state legislatures weren't even aware of that it was in. So now, I think in Southern California, Edison want to increase that fixed rate from $10 to about $30 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's very significant, you guys.
Yeah, so, and that's the reason for opposing the higher fixed charge.
From
by
10
Southern
to
California.
30?
Yeah.
From $10 to $30, and some, I think I saw.
And there's even a potential discussion on utility bills more, I would say, I don't know if it's Edison for sure, so don't quote me on this, but using what you make salary to determine what your billing will be for electricity.
So this is to oppose a
But
bill?
that's a different subject.
It
This is-
was a
that's a
bill
different
that's
subject.
passed.
That's a different subject,
That
yeah.
allows utilities to increase their fixed charge. Before it was capped at $10.
So I mean, this request isn't to oppose a potential bill. You said the bill's already
This
passed.
is to oppose the higher fixed charge.
So it allows utility companies to increase their fixed charge through PUC, and that's, so the opposition is to oppose Southern California Edison from increasing their fixed charge or requesting.
So we'll send them a letter?
A letter would be sufficient, yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Can I make a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
I think it's
I'm quite a little bit confused, right? Because we are part of the Clean Power Alliance, right? So the majority of residents of Hawthorne and the commercial goes to the Clean Power Alliance, and we have not discussed this at the Clean Power Alliance about this fix. So, but if it's about the transmission, that yes, Southern California Edison have to charge for the transmissions line. So if that's the case, that's what, if we want to oppose them to increase it from 10 to 30, yeah, okay, that's a $20 increase. That's too much money.
Can I read-
it has to go to the CUP, like Mr. Kim said. And then the CUP have to make the decision, even if it's not the legislator. That the CUP, is a board made up of that the governor appoint people. So they have to decide. And also what Ms. English just mentioned, the CUP also is thinking about how people is going to pay the electricity bill in the future by how much money you make.
Your salary, yeah. So, okay, I found it. Can I read it real quickly? Background, last year the legislature passed AB 205, a budget trailer bill that contained a little notice provision to mandate a fixed charge on all ratepayers. The provision removed the previous fixed charge cap of $10, making the potential fixed charge unlimited. The bill was passed in 3 days with no public discussion. Many state lawmakers now admit they did not even know this provision was in the AB 205. Now, the state's 3 investor-owned utilities and some organizations have proposed the highest fixed charges in the country, between $30 and $70 a month, or 3 to 7 times the national average. Supporters of a high fixed charge argue that they are necessary to pay for wildfire preparedness, updates to the electric grid, and the cost of electrification throughout the state. While we share the goal of electrifying vehicles and buildings, imposing higher fixed charges is a false solution. So, analysis from the Clean Coalition and several utility experts demonstrates the high fixed charge improve the economics of electrification, magnifying at best. And so this is just a little snippet. There's still a lot of reading here. In the meantime, the legislature should immediately correct their mistake and put a cap back on the fixed charge that is in line with the national average of around $11. So, having said that, I want us to protect our residents, the ratepayer, and although we are Clean Power Alliance, and we've been with Clean Power for a few years now, that's the whole purpose, right? That's the whole purpose of being with Clean Power Alliance, was to be able to, aggregate our costs at a lower amount. So by us not even opposing or not even looking at this and thinking that, we're doing, our justice, we're not. We're not doing justice by allowing this to happen. We need to send a letter to the CUP acknowledging the fact that, this shouldn't even happen. deny the you know, the increased cost, and send a letter to Edison too. So that's what I'm asking for. I want our city to take a stance.
The state. The legislature and CUP.
Well, shame on the legislators, yeah. You know,
But they need
shame
to,
on them
We're good?
for not reading through and what that meant.
Of course.
So, yeah, I'd like to make a motion. I could get a second.
Second, somebody said a second already, right?
Please,
Katrina make a second. I say yes.
Thank
please
you.
write your,
Everybody
Thank
says
you.
yes. We don't have to do an official vote. We have a consensus.
no official vote, you
Yes.
tired of?
No, it's a consensus. It's a
Yeah, we
consensus.
have a
Right?
consensus.
Yes, I got the
Hold your
directive.
card up.
Can we
Right, he got,
can
Mr. Kim got the directive.
It's unanimous. Unanimous.
Thank you. She wants,
Oh, let's just,
wants some. Here.
Yeah, she wants some.
Okay, if you insist. Okay, I'll call AI for delivery.
some ayes and some yays.
AI could vote for you.
Thank you.
Montero.
Okay, cool.
You can do it for.
Thank you, council colleagues.
The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Yeah, we should have been done a while back. Elected officials reports recommendations. Ms. City Clerk.
I have a note here from Madam Treasurer. Thank you to City Council and City staff, as I am grateful to celebrate the completion of 1 year of service to the City of Hawthorne. I look forward to the new year and working with you all more closely. Thank you to Police and Finance Department on their continued hard work putting together financial reports. Glad to report that there has been a steady increase with the city's investment portfolio this year. Happy holidays to everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all Saturday at the Winter Wonderland. Happy birthday to the chief, and then I would like to say happy birthday to Marie because her birthday is Monday.
Okay. Happy birthday to both of them.
And from the city clerk, just want to thank everyone for coming out, for everyone who stayed. I thought it was a great presentation for the pastors. That was really nice. And looking forward to seeing more pastors come forward, some of the Catholic pastors and whatnot who are in our community. I want to also just say congratulations to Katrina, Maria, myself for 1 year being here. It went by so fast.
Wow. Wow.
And I want to give a special shout out to my grandson, Adrian Allen Ewart, who is in Strongsville, Ohio. And Adrian, as a third grader and underclassman, won president of the student body.
Oh, congratulations to him.
And that's all I have. Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays to everyone.
Congratulations. Councilwoman Manning?
Thank you. I too am happy to celebrate with Dana and Marie 1 year anniversary. It went by so fast. It's so crazy. I just remember us taking a picture over there together and how excited we were. Wow. All right. Also, I would like to say happy birthday to our chief. He's been so quiet, didn't tell anybody. But that's okay, because I put it in my calendar, so I'm going to be prepared next year. Happy birthday, Chief.
You should sing
Give it
happy
up for
birthday
him.
to him.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chief. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Also, I also like
Make
to.
sure
Oh, go ahead.
Keep going.
You sure?
No, it's
Okay.
your turn.
All right. I also like to say how proud I am of James John, the junior from Lawndale, to actually get up here and brave enough to be an advocate for his fellow classmates and you know, Lawndale, the school. So really proud, because it takes a lot of guts to do that. So shout out to you, Mr. James. Also, got a notification from Holly Park Little League. They have started their registration. It's open now, and it's open until January 16th. So if you have some young ones that want to play baseball, make sure you contact Holly Park Little League and sign them up. They're also offering clinics as well, and I believe the clinics are every week. So please reach out. Also, Business Expo. I'm excited to mention there's flyers out there to mention that we are having a Business Expo March 14th, 2024. If you are interested in signing up, please contact us here at City Hall. We want you to come and fellowship with us and share your business. I'm excited. This is my first one, and I can't wait until we celebrate with and I just want to say thank you so much to staff. We've been working together. They've been working hard. It's a lot of work. And I just want to say thank you to the staff for working with me on this. And this journey is going to be an incredible journey. So I'm excited. So please remember, if you have a business, please reach out to City Hall to sign up for your booth. And let me see what else. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys have a very, very good holiday. And also, if there's any other churches out there, I apologize if I did not reach out to you. Please feel free to reach out to me. Call me at City Hall. I want to remain inclusive, so I did not mean to purposely exclude any religion. I believe that we all believe loving people, appreciating people, however you do it. That's what I believe in. And my goal is to recognize folks that have contributed to our city and have done good work. So I appreciate, I want to say I still appreciate all the work that you guys have done and will continue to do, and for everybody that's out there that's contributing to the betterment of City Hall, City of Hawthorne, City of Good Neighbors. And we have so many journeys that we're going to embark on moving forward. So let's do it with love. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Patterson.
Want to thank the community for coming out and participating in this process and making your voices heard. Great to see everybody. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a great time with their family. I want to thank the staff for their work that they've been doing with all these different initiatives and projects. Really excited about the potential new City Hall project. There's always a lot of great ideas that float around here, and they don't always come to fruition. And it's just awesome to work with the city manager, where you kind of talk to him about some different ideas about ways we can benefit the city, and he kind of sees it through. So I want to congratulate Vaughn for your hard work and all the successes and things that you've brought to fruition around City Hall. This City Hall project, other things, how we've upgraded just the council chambers. These are conversations we had so many months ago, and it's great to see them kind of happening. And so I'm excited for the city in that respect. I have two directives. One, I would like there to be with our city manager, our city attorney, one of the things is that we're doing that's unique is we have annual performance evaluations, something we've not done before with any other people in these positions, because we want to make sure we're consistent across the board, because we've initiated evaluations with all of our employees throughout the city, which is something that hadn't happened in decades. And so I want to make sure for those evaluations that a file is kept so that individual, council member evaluations can be recorded and looked referred back to every year when we do those evaluations as well. And so separate from the personnel file, but some type of official file to be kept, so we can, when we do these annual evaluations, they can be kept and referred to by current and future council people. I also want to ask the city manager to look into the city of Hawthorne joining the National League of Cities. There's a lot of perks that come with being part of this organization, a lot of education, a lot of support, a lot of training, opportunities for staff. There's also grants that they provide for municipalities. I even got an email today about a cost-free decorative street banner program that we could potentially take advantage of as being a member of that. So we can look into, joining the National League of Cities. I think that'd be really beneficial to the city of Hawthorne. Thanks. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Great suggestion. Councilmember Montero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, again, thank you everyone for coming and at home listen. First, I want to say congratulate our city manager, Mr. Von Norris, and Mr. Kim for the extension of the contract. You guys have been doing an outstanding job, and it reflects in all the work that you do every day. And I know right now we have a very positive morale in all the departments across the city, and we're seeing the work, it's been flourish, and everybody is coming to work happy. I have to say that I was very excited about that. And also I have to say that I was driving on Hawthorne Boulevard the other night. I saw Christmas lights all the way from Rose Grand all the way down to El Segundo. It makes the boulevard looks very beautiful at night. So I would recommend for you guys to drive through Hawthorne all the way down to Rose Grand to see the lights. So it's kind of like, even as I would feel like I wanted to stop and shop. So that's the kind of thing. It's pretty good. It's awesome. Also, I want to commend Vaughn because we did have a meeting with the ad hoc committee about the future of Hawthorne, about the new strategic plan, and then out of that meeting, he just create a parking solution committee. So that's a great thing that's going to happen because we're talking about parking solution in Hawthorne because that's a hot topic for almost 25 years that I've been in this city. So I'm glad to see that we're going to take that by the horn, and we're trying to solve problems, and thank you for that, Vaughn. I have to say that, last week I went to a grand open of a Goodwill Career Center in Carson. So I talked to the people out there. I said, oh, but why not you guys open a career center in Hawthorne? So they said, let's talk about it. So just to keep that in mind. The other thing that I did attend, another 14th annual SoCal Economic Summit. And that's when I was talking about innovation, technologies, and new business. So all these people are looking for space and office to open business. So that's what I'm saying, just to keep our mind open, that we want to bring business to Hawthorne. So and we need to be careful in those moratorium. Just news from the Clean Power Alliance. Actually, we voted last week to accept 3 more cities, like another Flint Ridge, Linwood, and Port of Wyoming. So
How much did they have to pay?
it was only $10,000 for each for the same for the program. But the Clean Power Alliance, is growing because right now we're 33 cities and counting of Venturas and counting of LA. So it kept growing. A lot of cities are asking to join because it's about clean and renewable energy. And just for you guys here in Hawthorne, just pay attention because the Clean Power Alliance, if you're part of the Clean Power Alliance, your bill is cheaper than Edison. So you're paying less money and receive 100% green energy into your home. So just keep that in mind. Saturday cleanup. Thank you for all the volunteers from the high schools in the area came to help us clean up the street. Thank you, the Public Service, Martina Landscaping, and of course, Public Works and the Community Service Department was there, and even Eric and the Cable went around take pictures of kids cleaning up our street. So thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. Let me see what else do I have here. Okay, so the other highlight that last week, Vaughn, Selena, Akbar, and myself, we went to the South Bay City of Government and Southern California Regional Energy Network. they present an award to Hawthorne. We are one of the, maybe one of the only city that received gold, achieve gold, okay, gold level achievement for everything we're doing about clean and renewable energy and efficiency in our cities, right? For example, I'm going to just run into a few points. We install 6 EV chargers, 4 at City Hall, 2 at the Hawthorne PD. We, as I said, part of Clean Power Alliance, 100% green energy. We're trying to get, more community involved. We do all these community cleanups. They are helping our cities, transform all the lights, more efficiency lights, ACs, changing that. So, and we have more things coming down the pipe, even the AB 802, compliance, a statewide requirement to report energy usage to the state, about how to use the gas. So all these accomplishment of making our city more green and efficiency, we receive, out of 16 cities, we receive gold, okay, because we are in compliance, and we're doing a lot of things to make sure that our environment is clean, then our kids is breathing good air. So we got gold, okay?
Gold level
So,
achievement.
but all the work goes to the public works special, Selena Nagabar, for compliance, and even in the community service, because we got the solar panels at the Hawthorne Memorial Center, and that's what I want. The Civic Center said, I want more green stuff, more solar panels, more green energy. So again, so we are proud of the staff because they don't want to do the work, and then we have just to grab about it. So congratulations to all of our staff, and I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, all of those different nominations out there that celebrate Christmas, celebrate life, celebrate joy, celebrate better things in life. So we want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year to all of you, and be safe out there, spread love, share your fortune with unfortunate people. And Mr. Mayor, I want to be excused on the next city council meeting. That's going to be on January 9 because I have to go to a conference in Las Vegas. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir, for letting us know. Mayor Pro Tem.
Vegas. Thank you, Mayor, council members. Let me say thank you to our city clerk for your Christmas card. Thank you so much.
So
and
nice.
I think I want to say it's Jerry and
Melissa Siegel.
Siegel.
Hi,
Thank you. Thank you. That was sweet of you. I'm hoping that I have a Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus this year for the toy giveaway. That would be great. Let me just real quick run down the list here. Thank you, Josh, for taking the lead with AI and your presentation today. You look very sharp tonight in your official capacity, so thank you so much. I didn't even recognize you earlier. I'd like to thank the 2 presenters today on our economic development endeavors, the 2 presentations on the Civic Center and our Senior Center. Thank you greatly for your time and showing us thus far what you've come up with. I also would like to thank everyone that helped on Saturday's cleanup. That was great. It was really good to do that again, one of our final cleanups for the year. This is our last city council meeting for the year. There's a lot to be thankful for, and I'm really thankful for just the efforts from the city council and the mayor in moving the city forward however much we can. There's a lot of new laws and policies coming up in 2024. There's housing and other legislation. There was over 1,000 items that were passed in Sacramento in our legislature, and adding one of the items to the agenda to include what is currently happening, not just in Sacramento, but policy that matters most to the families here in Hawthorne. So when there's an availability there, I'm going to ask that City Council put that on our agenda, on our website, so that you could just scroll through that and see what types of policies, that we're working on or might have effects here in our city. Happy birthday to our chief. I see you over there. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great, not just birthday, but a great month, finishing the month. Want to thank Vaughn for his help in the cleanup we had this past weekend, but I also want to thank everyone, and Vaughn especially, and Catherine and Patty in our administrative offices for the 16th annual Operation Gobble. That was a real great success. I really want to thank everyone that assisted in those efforts. We provided roughly, if not close to 700 turkeys, went to various groups and organizations, women shelters, men organization, churches, and the general public. But most importantly, there's assistance that I provided in the city of Watts, in the city of Los Angeles, and other areas. And just because the need was so great, and because I wanted to wait to assure that we had our residents served first, any of those after, if I had anything left over, I would be more than willing. And let me tell you, it went a long ways, and I did help those communities. So thank you so much to everybody that helped. There was great synergy this year for the city of Hawthorne. We have some new businesses that are coming into Hawthorne, our cannabis businesses that are coming to Hawthorne. They also contributed. Councilmember Patterson contributed. So I want to thank Steezy. I want to thank Catalyst, and I want to thank Herbarium. And I want to just, again, all the efforts that are put into community and through community benefits and donations back to the community is something that I strive for. And that's all I ever want, is to assure that the community is benefiting from these types of programs and services. A couple of other things happening on December 22nd, the toy giveaway, the annual toy giveaway that we're going to have here at City Hall. So again, partnering with organizations and businesses and those alike to provide toys to our families here in Hawthorne. Look forward to that. That's from 12 to 2 p.m. There'll be refreshments, and there'll be some music and some toys for our young ones, and also a bike raffle that we're going to be doing. I also want to make mention the Senior Resources Workshop that is coming up at Dale Air Park at their community room on Wednesday, December 13th. That is from our supervisor, Holly Mitchell's office. Our Winter Wonderland Spectacular, December 16th from 4 to 9 p.m. And that's going to happen at our Memorial Park. I look forward to our holiday luncheon. All of our departments, our staff, our workforce, I want to thank you for all that you did throughout this year. Look forward to seeing you at 11:30 on December 21st for our holiday luncheon. And I believe there's going to be some pins that are going to be given to our staff. So look forward to that. Great event. There's a, I don't know if I should announce it. It's for it's the holiday happening December 22nd, City Hall lobby, 8:30 a.m. for coffee for staff. And then at 9 a.m., the ugly sweater contest. 3 participants per department in order to enter. So if you got an ugly sweater, my goodness, dress up. The Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce is having their holiday toy drive December 22nd at 1 p.m. at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. I'll leave that for you to mention, Mayor. Again, want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa. I mean, there's just so much to be thankful for, including, I know I'm missing something else. I'm going to say it after we're all done, but anyway, thank you to everyone that came today, and Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You have a go back?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah. Actually, I just wanted to tell everybody out there to pay attention, because the CDBG and Home Fund Community Service grant is out and is due on January 12th. So you can go to online on the City of Hawthorne, but they did send email to all nonprofits, and you should have received something look like this. Okay, so make sure you apply. So there is money to give away, and the deadline is January 12th from the City of Hawthorne. A quick shout out to the Kiwanis Club of Hawthorne and thanks to some other business and even with our own Hawthorne Police Department, HPOA, Police Officer Association, we donate money to the Kiwanis Club. And today and the other day, we just delivered 12 AEDs to the Centinela Valley School District. So each high school can have 4 of those IEDs that, like those to save life, right? So in Hawthorne Math and Science also is going to get 4. So those IEDs can save those kids' life in a soccer field or when playing football. Just a quick reminder, like actually I'm going to be part of this toys and food giveaway on December 16 right here on 120. It's 2851 West 120th Street this Saturday the 16th at 10 a.m. And I'll be giving also toys away at the castle on the 21st of December.
The 21st.
So we got a lot of toys giveaway, different places. So the kids are going to be happy.
There are going to be a lot of kids happy. And I just want to thank our city manager and our city attorney. And I'm happy and glad that your contracts were extended. So thank you for your hard work to all of our hardworking department heads, chief, HOPA, all of our police officers and staff, importantly, all of our department heads. Thank you so much for work well done this past year.
Thank you for the council support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Good. All right, we're at the end of the evening. It's 9:07. I also want to echo my council colleagues' praise for our city attorney and for our city manager. One thing that I want to note is that you guys are definitely looking out for the city. You guys have exhibited that at every turn that you've taken, that the city's taken. I know that you guys, we as council members come up with ideas and we want things to happen and this and that. But the good thing is that you guys have been able to say no when you have had to say no to us. Take that out. If something is not good for the city, because you guys are looking, and if something's good for the city, you're going to support it, and you're looking out for the city is ultimately what I'm trying to say. Okay. And you guys give us your input. You're not just a rubber stamp. You guys looking out for the city, and you guys are giving us your best advice to move forward. So I think that's a good quality. I think we can all agree that it's very important. Okay, because you are stewards of the city's coffers. You are stewards for the city's, best protecting us and making sure that every decision we make up here is safe and within the legal acceptability, right? So, and of course, 99% of the time we say yes to our ideas, right? So, but when you need to, because you're looking out for the city and there's something we don't see, you let us know. Okay? I really appreciate you guys. And to the community out there, this is the last meeting before the end of the year. We're not going to see you, and we're not going to see our colleague over here. He's going to go to play the slots over there in Las Vegas, I think. No, he's out on business representing the city. Okay, and we all do. One thing that I do want to let my council member colleagues know, and I encourage every single one of you guys on the series, is that you guys all belong to committees, and we're probably going to join the National League of Cities. You're first delegate, second delegate, whatever it is. Make sure you go to the conferences that are associated with the boards that you are. Okay, that's a benefit to the city. You get to represent us, and you are able to go mingle, network. Part of the whole thing is networking, guys. Okay, it's not all just it is business, but you're networking and meeting people from other cities, and we need you guys all out there participating, getting to meet people. Our city clerk as well, and our city treasurer. If there's conferences out there that you would like support for us to send you, please let us know so that you can come back and give us some good ideas. Okay, I'm always about networking and connecting with people. All right, just make sure you guys follow through on that. So there was a lot of events. Kudos to the city staff from on my behalf, for all the things that you do. I mean, there's a plethora of things. Holiday toy drive. The Chamber of Commerce is having one. We're having one. We're having the Winter Wonderland, where there's toys given away as well. We have seniors, things for the seniors. A cleanup day just happened. I heard that it was pretty cool. And this one's the one that got my attention for me personally. All the other ones are awesome. The day at the park. The day at the park at the Hawthorne Skate Park. It used to be called something else. I don't remember what it was called. Yeah. I knew that got your attention. Day at the park, at the skate park, and it's all about skateboarding. We have our skateboard park that's rated at a moderate to high difficulty. So I think that this is something that our community members should come out and take a look, see all the talent that we have here in the city and in neighboring areas that are going to be showing up. I'm going to lube up my skateboard too. It's a cruising board, so I'll probably be riding that to the park and participate and see what's going to happen. See what's going to happen there. It's going to be really cool. I always thought maybe I could organize one myself, but, staff decided, hey, you know what, this is a good idea. So separate from me, they organized this thing. So make sure, are we going to how well are we going to televise this? Do we have staff and cable just doing more than just taking good, like, shots, infrequent shots, or can they do some stuff where they can...
Yeah, we'll take action photos, but this is a very important event, so important that I'm actually involved. I met with the young gentleman that's actually put on the event twice in person at the skate park.
Okay.
We're going to have it, it's always clean, but we're going to do an extra immaculate job to have it, ready for that day. Cable TV told me this posting received the most hits that we've ever received.
I saw that.
So we're excited, we're ready, and we can't wait for the event to take place.
So maybe we can take the semifinals or whatever the last stage is. That if you could task, that's my directive. If you could task staff, cable to take full coverage of like the final parts of this competition, so that we could see it. Maybe do it as a not just a highlight thing, but just kind of an actual program.
Would you like us to bring it as a presentation to council?
No, I think this is something that could be put on cable TV.
Okay.
Full length, half hour, whatever it takes for the final stages, so we can highlight this thing. I mean, this is a big deal.
We could actually promote that. Maybe we can get the Olympics in 2028 to do some skates thing right here in Hawthorne.
Well, they could practice here at least. We don't, we could double check to see if this is to the standards of the Olympics, of course, my colleague. Yes. But yeah, a good half hour, an hour, or whatever it takes to get all the good action for the competition towards the end of the final stages would be really awesome. Our community is going to get a kick out of watching this.
On the 23rd, Christmas, before Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I'll be here.
I'll be out of town.
Are you going to be out of town?
Okay.
One last thing. Can I?
Yeah, and then I go back.
Okay.
Dale, pues.
Vaughn, can you give us the dates that our city hall will be closed so that our workers, our hard workers in Hawthorne get to spend quality time with their family during the holidays?
Yes, I can provide that information. Council was gracious enough to gift staff days off last week of December 25th to December 29th.
Yay!
So in preparing for that, cable TV will post disclaimers on the times that we're closed and the reopening days. So staff is very excited, and we appreciate your gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, Council, for approving those items for staff.
All right, guys. So thank you guys all. Hawthorne Business Expo is also something that's going to happen in the first couple months.
Oh,
in the
Katrina,
third month.
Councilmember Manning.
So kudos
Pouring
to
to
you
that.
guys, to you and staff for organizing that and keeping that tradition going. I want to wish everyone a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, and just enjoy it with your family. We just need more of God.
Yes.
And Jesus is the reason for the season. And there's a lot of other things that we're celebrating during this time. So please enjoy yourself. take it as a moment to connect with your family, and just to see the reason why we're really here, just to do good things and,
Amen.
make it to, somewhere beyond this earthly territory here. Okay? Well, didn't you already have your automated car come and pick you up? Is it like?
It's waiting for you outside.
All right, guys. I know. All right, this meeting is adjourned. This meeting is adjourned at 9:16.